On our walls, the Pepsi generation thought we'd seen it all. Brightly lit future with flying cars, and we'd all be superstars. Energy is endlessly entertaining us violently. Commercials play on TV, and nothing was ever free.
Drive our line, going anywhere. Life moves so fast in an instant flash. I could fly our line, going
down and stayed silent. Words hard, we were self-aware. Made mistakes that land us anywhere. With corded phones and same machines, you could do anything if you just believe. Commercials play on TV, and nothing was ever free. And fake Nikes. He liked computers and Atari games. Wanted friends but kids can't be me. He played the keyboard, loved the music scene. Formed a band that we pay to see. It's funny how people see all the rock stars on MTV.
Hey now, what's up everybody? Thursday, coming at you, 10:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you're doing well out there today. And it is the most robust day of the week, some say, and I agree with them. But today, there is no pre-stream, unfortunately. No pre-stream, but don't worry. We got a robust lore stream coming at you until about 1 o'clock. Then we'll send you off to go watch the pre-stream somewhere else. Then we got the Tractor Beam coming up tonight. Then we got pre-stream tomorrow. So you're all set. You're all set, my friends. And don't forget, Saturday night will be the call-in show in which we cover breakups, which should be pretty robust as well. So we got the content coming for days. Hope you are coming as well. Big ups done style mouth drooler, who says ack, ack, ack. Hey, ack, 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 right back at you. Or should I do my Batman voice? Really sick, guys. Hope you're doing okay out there. Hope you're ready for a lore stream. I'm toughing it out here. The support would mean a lot, if you know what I'm saying. You know, I don't want to be doing this. But sadly, that's the situation I'm in. I can't miss a stream. Maybe someday I'll be out of this situation, but not yet. Alright, I'll stop. I'll stop! Alright, so this is part 2, alright? Part 2. The link to part 1 is right here if you haven't seen it, so go watch it if you haven't seen part 1. Part 1 of this tale is all about the breakup of John Rambo and DSP. So, last week we covered the initial setup of when Philip left Connecticut, and they still had very fixed and set plans to have smart guys continuing. However, as soon as Philip moved, those plans changed. It involved DSP kind of saying multiple times that just waiting for Rambo to have time. Rambo then told her his part of the story of saying he spent a lot of money getting that YouTube series out, The Adventures of Hole Push and Snozman, and he wasn't in a good place. He didn't have really time to do anything with Philip, but he said, hey, if you want to give me a call at any time, that's fine. Philip then said in a YouTube video, I will call him in the next few days. That call never happened. Philip would still endlessly he would say harassed, but what that means is people would leave comments on YouTube videos saying, hey man, when's Rambo coming back? When's Rambo coming back? So then that led to Philip saying on a video that, hey, I've tried to reach out. I've done everything I can do. It's all on Rambo's part. He clearly doesn't want to do this, right? And he came to a lot of conclusions about why Rambo felt that way. Now, that caused Rambo and Howard to make their own video, right? And that video, of course, is the, hi, my name is John. And now we watched that last week. So this week we're going to watch the reaction from Philip, okay? So we're going to watch Philip reacting to that. And we will show retcons when we need to show retcons, right? Because Philip's going to tell a tale here that is going to be a little bit different than the one that Rambo and Howard told them, okay? That's the menu for today. All right? Big ups to Funky Monk, who says, ALT, what turned you to Detractor? I didn't know there was any other way. You know what I mean? Funky Monk. So for me, the first thing I saw, oh God, it's been tough. God, toughing it out here. I'm toughing it out. No, the first thing I saw from Philip was This Is How You Don't Play. And that was already, like, I guess that's Detractor content already, right? I didn't know there was a side of people that actually liked him. You know what I mean? So for me, everything I saw was negative. The first thing I saw was negative. The next thing I saw was negative. Oh crap! Look, this guy's going bankrupt. Let me check out that video. Oh, that was all negative. I didn't know there was a different way. I guess I wasn't around long enough to get like the thinking he was a cool guy side. I started with This Is How You Don't Play, and that's where my path began as a detractor. Big ups Funky Monk though. You're our legend. Yeah, I was brainwashed from the start. Actually, I didn't have a chance. All I know is detracting. I was formed by detracting. Molded by it. I forget the whole quote. This is how you don't play was my teacher. Tevin was my... Okay, I'll stop. Let's get to it. We got a lot to get to. Bill Brasky says for the cough drop fun. Big ups. You're a legend. I need a cough drop. No, I don't. I'm feeling fine. Very well and fine. All right, robust day. Took dogs for a walk. Dropped the kids off for school. Robust day. Got to coach hockey later today. Got a robust day. Jericho TSK in the house says, enjoy this. I hear it's 6.8 million in Argentina. Big ups. That was pretty funny last night. We're going to talk about that tomorrow in depth more, because today, again, I can't do the pre-stream. Got to take kids to the doctor for checkup. And you know how the fucking health system goes in America, my friends? It's like they plan so far in advance. Whatever they say is fine. Because if you say, like, that date's not fine, it's like, all right, well, we got another one and sometime next spring, so you got to take it. You know? But it's just a checkup, but you know how it goes. You got to take, when they have an opening, you got to take it. Anyways, moving forward positively here. Let's go. We're going to start with 2019. Philip begins to have an idea of something. Okay, he begins to have an idea. Now, not quite in this video, but in this year, we decide that something might be a good idea. Now, what could that be? Stay tuned.
Stuff like Smart Guys, our pro wrestling show. After I moved, it was John who was 100% completely dishonest and just lied.
Philip, we're going to start hot,
Next week, Kingdom Hearts 3, balancing that with everything else I'm doing.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to have time for demos. Just being honest. Plus, you know I'm playing Mortal Kombat 11 when it comes out in late April. You just know I'm playing it. So.
We're starting hot,
All right, Straight Cash Homie just cheered.
Yep, go ahead.
He's highly unlikely if you and John Rambo stream together one more time, it would be gold. Well, first of all, it's not viable. It's never going to happen. We don't live together for us to stream together. That's number one.
That's not what stream together means, but go ahead.
Number two, I wanted to continue doing co-op stuff like Smart Guys, our pro wrestling show. After I moved, it was John who was 100% completely dishonest and just lied to me for a year, making excuses why not to do it instead of just being honest with me. Then he came out.
So that is extremely fucked up, what he just said there. He is saying the reasons John gave him were dishonest and lying, when all those things John did, again, if you haven't seen part one, you got to watch it, were legitimate. John was in such a bad place mentally, he went to the fucking mountains for a weekend and left his phone because he needed to clear his fucking head. That's not a reason? That's lying, Philip? Come on now. We're going to start like this?
Lied to me for a year, making excuses why not to do it instead of just being honest with me. Then he came out with that really negative video about me on the internet, exposing all these things he didn't like about me, when in reality, all he ever had to do was have a conversation with me about.
He did not, in that video, as you're going to hear, is not explaining what he doesn't like about Philip. It's explaining what he doesn't like about Philip's actions, which are extremely different.
And they all would have been fixed. So,
okay.
I mean, you see what I mean? It's not going to happen. This is a guy who was dishonest with me for a year after I moved. Apparently was being dishonest with me for time before I moved. Then
what does that even mean? He was dishonest before he even moved? What? What does
decides
that mean?
to air his grievances not to me to get them fixed, but instead insulting me on the internet. So that's not how you...
Also, not insulting, it's just saying what he doesn't like about your behavior is not insulting, right? So if someone does something fucked up and you say, hey, man, I don't like that, or hey, listen, dude, if, for example, if I said, like, you know, Snood said some fucked up shit on that show, I don't like it. I don't like the tractor beam anymore. I'm not insulting him. I'm telling you what I don't like about his behavior, right? Right? Makes sense? Iwamoto in the house says, don't call for you'll be bedridden for weeks. Or sneeze, right? I think it was sneeze that led to the, sneezing that led to the allergy reaction. Big ups, Iwamoto.
You handle shit, especially when you're acting mature and you have someone who you respect. If anything, what I learned during that time period is that John didn't respect me. Because if he actually respected me, he would have been upfront with me, and he would have talked with me and got these things settled and or at least aired the grievances rather than holding them in and then bombing me with them a year or more than a year and a half after I had moved. If you respect someone, you give them the benefit of the doubt and you actually give them a chance to fix something if you feel that they've wronged you or whatever. And John didn't
You give chances, but at some point you're like, all right, fuck it, right?
do that. He never gave me that opportunity. So sadly,
he did.
I unfortunately would have zero interest in doing anything else with him unless he was going to come and basically man up and apologize to me and say, Phil,
wow, John has to apologize.
I'm sorry that I went about.
That is extremely telling of someone's mentality, right? So listen to this. Phillips, as John would say, Phillips' interactions with John was always about when we making the next video, to the point of Rambo, after, kind of getting in a good headspace, making a new Smart Guys, not Smart Guys, the show, the Stay Ballsy show, the podcast they did. Philip remember, John Rambo said, hey man, when I'm feeling like doing it, I'll message you, all right? I'll message you. But John Rambo released a podcast, right? Just not about Philip, just about his own shit, right? Like he does on his podcast. Philip took that to mean, hey man, seems like you're doing shit again. What's up? That's enough to say, all right, fuck it, man. I see where your head's at. You just want to make stuff so you can make money. It's not about our friendship. So what does he have to apologize for? He didn't like your behavior enough to make a video about it, so you'd finally get the hint. Because remember, what spurned that video was that he was lying about John's intentions. Making up John's intentions completely. That's what made John make that video.
About that the way that I did. I felt wrong, but you're right. I shouldn't have done it that way. There's no point. And by the way, the other thing is, Phil, why don't you contact John Rambo? I was the one contacting him all along. I was the one after I moved. I would text him repeatedly, trying to talk to him, see how he's doing.
No. Asking when the next video is.
Get information from him if he ever wanted to do Smart Guys or anything else. Yeah. And he basically was at the end was just blowing me off. Then when he made
ghosting you because it was endless.
In his big video about me, he acted like I was the one who never contacted him. It was a complete lie. It was the opposite. I was the one who always contacted him. He never contacted me. It was like as soon as I moved, he wanted nothing to do with me anymore. So
get ready. Get fucking ready.
So why on earth would there be a reconciliation when the ball is 100% on his side? He's the one who had
the ball is 100% on his side.
The problem.
The ball is in his ball court, and also it's on his side.
He's the one who didn't tell me about the problem. He's the one who insulted me on the internet after the fact.
Did not insult Philip.
And then acted like I was the one who was at fault.
Yep. The ball's on his side, honestly.
So, no, you're not going to see anything else between me and him. At this point now, it's been, 3.5 years since he severed his ties to me completely by putting out that video. I'm pretty sure he's not magically going to overnight change his mind and want to come back and do stuff. So, the answer is no.
Okay.
All right.
I'd hate having DSP as a landlord. The dude would definitely be a slumlord and beg his tenants to pay months in advance because he needs the money for taxes. How about you try to be a responsible adult? Oh my God, Tevin streamed this today. Haven't been renting your condo because you'd have to deal with maintenance? That's the lamest shit I'd ever heard. I'm a fan, man. I've always respected you. Still do. Not trying to hate. But years of rent versus maintenance here and there is preposterous. Interesting. He must be a troll, though. He's not a real fan. He's a fucking troll. All right, next. Oh, that's not. I didn't mean to do that. Now we got to wait for it to unflip. Oh, no, it still works. Okay. It may be putting. Two, may be putting more time, work, and effort into the reaction to John and Howard than anything else I've ever done up to this point. I got so upset. Okay, I'm going to read this as written, okay? I really apologize here. I got so upset I'd forget something important that I took down copious notes and revisited long-lost memories. This means a damn lot to me. All right. So, I may be putting more time. I may be putting more time, work, and effort in this reaction than anything I've ever done up to this point. That's telling, isn't it? So the most effort you've ever put into content is to debunk your best friend, well, your former friend. Not your content, the main content for your fans that, pay your bills. Fuck them, right? We just got to get a one-up on Johnny. Big ups Twerk to Spec. Says, John's the one for me. Whee! All right. So here we go. So this is the kind of announcement that we will be doing the John and Howard Reack. All right? So, why fuck around anymore? It is time for DSP reacts John versus Howard. Now, this is obviously, we can't watch this whole thing today. In total, it is 6 hours, okay? So we're going to get to the best part, the best parts here. So let's watch a bit, unfollows Howard real quick, and then we're going to go, I'm going to kind of pick up the best things here, okay? So, like, Pay Me Tons for sure we got to hit. Project 7, not as interested, right? Howard's Goodbye, an ultimate insult to me, that'll be good. Luckily for us, Philip put timestamps on this. Oh, I'm sure it wasn't him. I'm sure it was OP Boone, actually. But anyways, we'll get into it, all right? So let's go. Let's get to the beginning first.
Hello, everyone out there. Dark Side Phil here.
All right, don't care about this.
DSP for short. Over his house, you meet people or whatever. But it was never like we were all
30 minutes in, has not pushed play yet.
Close friends. It was like I was friends with John. John was closer friends with Howard than I was.
Okay.
And Howard would be involved in our content from time to time. Okay? So you might say, why
This is what we call the pre-bunk.
am I bringing this up? Here's why. Because this video was the John and Howard video.
Yeah.
And that shocked the shit out of me. Because if anything, I expected that if there was going to be anyone who would come out and say something, it would have been John. That John would have come out and said, listen, the reason why I'm not talking to Phil anymore is this. Here's the reason.
Great overlay, Philip. I love this. Cutting off half the face is really good and professional.
Here's my gripes.
Check
This
out,
video
Craig.
originally was about an hour and a half long, and most of the stuff is from Howard. If you listen to the video, which we're going to, you're going to hear all these gripes that Howard has about me, all these issues he has with me, okay?
He's much more outspoken than Rambo. We all know this.
Which is fine. I'm going to fess up to a lot of this stuff.
We'll
because
see
it's
about
true.
that. We'll see about
But
that.
the point I'm making here is I wasn't close friends with Howard, yet
Okay, keep that in your mind. I was not close friends with Howard. As if you have to be close friends to call out bad behavior of your friends.
it seems like this video, the way it was made, is to spin it in that direction. Like, oh,
What does that
look,
mean?
Both John and Howard were good friends with Phil, and now they're really destroying him in a public video. But Howard never was in that level of friend. I never was a close friend with Howard. Some of the things he says in the video, you'll see he'll be like, oh, well, Phil never contacted me. It's because I never contacted you ever. Most of the time that I had contact with Howard
You did contact with him multiple times, which we're about to hear.
was through John. Okay? So we're going to get to that.
How about when you... Okay, we'll get to it. How about when you threatened him and pity begged him to come to your going away party? Is that something you do with people that aren't your friend? That's really weird. I'm just confused a little bit. We'll get there, though.
All right? But I needed to kind of give this
Pre-bunk?
viewing information.
It's called a
because it
pre-bunk.
has to put it into a frame of reference. All right? John, I feel, had every right over the years to complain, had every right to slam me for shit. All right? He's the one who I had the close personal friendship with. But
He had every right to slam me.
when people told me, hey, Phil, did you hear that there was a big video that John and Howard made about you today? I was like, John and Howard? Howard? How is Howard involved in this?
Because you drunk texted him just as much as you drunk texted John.
You know? It blew my mind. Okay. I think I put it into enough reference. And by the way, one final thing I will say is we're about to start. Okay?
Remember,
Why
I don't
am I
like
doing
Howard.
this now in 2022 when the friendship fell apart in 2014 and 2015?
Well, views are down, as you can see.
Okay? I'll tell you why.
Yeah, views.
When this video came out, all right, it was so hurtful to me that I couldn't watch it. All right? Most of the information that I heard about from the video was through third parties who had watched it and would either come to my streams and tell me what was said. Some of my friends and or moderators at the time watched the video and came to me and told me what it said.
Yeah.
I basically, when it came out, all right, I was already in a really bad place in my life in 2015. I mean,
Let's bring up the calendar here so we can see that. I believe the video is on the calendar. Where is it? Where's my calendar? Here. My calendar. My timeline. My calendar. Where's my calendar? All right, right here. So, the John and Howard video was... Come on, pointer. Here we go. John and Howard video is right here in the timeline. So again, this was a really, he's not lying. He's not lying when he said he's in a bad place because a lot of shit's happening right here. This is in rapid succession. Many people say,
my sister's not being
rightfully
abused.
so, 2015 might be one of Philip's worst years. This is right after the Jackie Chan and Be Awesome strikes. This is Alpha Omega Sins coming on the horizon here. The incident's coming in less than literally coming in less than a year. Leanna's leaving in less than a year. Bad period right here. He's not lying about that. He's going through it right now, right? All right, well, let's go. Because Fats12 says, Rambo has every right to slam me and pound me and break my back. Definitely. He has every right to backshot me, bend me over, slam me, take me out to dinner, pay for dinner, give me a massage, start up a bath, get the bubbles going, massage each other, wrestle me, everything. He has every right.
Again, if you want a full explanation of all of this, go watch the DSP reacts to the Down the Rabbit Hole Dark Side Phil video. That year, 2015, I had been swatted, DDoS attacked repeatedly.
Of course, he brings up these moments.
I had my channel destroyed by false copyright claims.
That you deleted without anyone telling you to delete those videos.
And lost millions upon millions of views. My channel was kicked out.
That's not true. I'm not bringing it up again. You know that the views did not dip in any major way. They were already on the way down. There was no major dip outside of that 1 month where he deleted all the videos.
Out of the YouTube algorithm, so I was losing. Why did this just beep?
Great
show.
show.
Because I'm not using it, so auto turned off. I was losing money on my business. By the way,
that's not true.
I had a personal relationship with my ex that was falling apart at the time. I was living with my ex, and we were supposed to be in this relationship, and it wasn't, okay? It was all this this storm of shit happening to me at once. So when this video came out on November 28th, 2015, all right, I couldn't watch it. I heard about it, and I was like, I can't. It wasn't until I couldn't even specifically tell you exactly when I watched it. I don't even remember. I just know
you know the date you watched it? November 29th, 2015.
Eventually I watched it. You know, and when I did, like when I even heard the video came out, you know that feeling you get in your chest? It's not necessarily panic, but it's like true pain. You get that heart-crushing feeling.
Is that a heart attack?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Like your whole body just droops, and you're like, oh. When I heard this video came out, I was like,
this guy has a way with words. So beautifully told. I 100% understand that feeling.
Wow. A video like that came out, and they really hate me to do something like that.
No.
All right?
See? Any negative statement against him, he takes as hate, right? I mean, that's clear. We all know that. But you see that? They put out a video that was not attacking Philip. It was saying about the things they don't like what he's saying and what he did in the past. Behavior, right? And John says many times during this video, I don't hate him as a person, and I wish him all the best. But here's what I don't like about this, how he acted. And Philip took that means they destroyed me, right?
And
that's not how you should look at that.
They really hate me to do something like that. All
See?
right?
They really hate me. Well, that's not hate. Sometimes sometimes you do fucked up shit, and people are going to tell you. And really, only friends tell you, honestly. Or, you know, people are going for drama on the internet, but that's not the case here. It's not like John and Howard got this YouTube channel they're trying to get views on. They've dropped this vid and dipped the fuck out.
And we're going to talk about this, and again, in the video. Over the years, abso-friggin-lutely, I spoke out of turn. I said things publicly I should not have said. I was an asshole.
Okay. So you're going to... Oh, you're just going to get those out of the way now so we don't have to cover them one by one as you go through? Don't worry, I'll handle that.
Mess up to all of that today for the very first time, okay?
Yeah, okay.
But I was always in the hopes that these guys would contact me privately and we could talk about it, okay? I was trying to contact John in particular, not so much Howard.
You did, though.
But John in particular. I was trying to reach out to him over and over a course of about a year.
But he did, though.
To a year and a half. And he decreasingly responded to the point where he started ghosting me, basically. No response at all anymore.
Yes.
And I was hoping that eventually they would reach out and say, all right, enough is enough. let's talk about this, you know, respectfully, like friends, like men, whatever you want to say, and let's hash it out so we can put it to bed. And even if we can't be friends anymore, at least we can hash it out.
God, we're 30 minutes in. We haven't pushed play on the video yet.
That's not what happened. They chose to make a 90-minute long hit piece, I guess you could call it, about me. Most of it, I wasn't even aware of, and I mean that for a fact. Like, most of the stuff they're going to bring up here, not that I didn't know the situations, but I didn't know that they had issue with it. There are a few things, and a few certain situations they'll call out here where absolutely John told me about them, and he'll even talk about that. Oh, and Phil apologized for this situation or that situation.
Notice that his example is, yeah, well, Phil apologized for that situation. Right. Big ups Joshua Clan, says my brother in Christ. I hate how this dude rambles. Get to the point.
All right. Thank
Not
you
me, though. Thank you, Joshua Clan. That's his biggest skill, is talking about nothing.
But a lot of this stuff, I didn't know about at all. And it was the first time hearing it. And having the whole internet hear it at the same time as me was like, wow. That tells me they didn't want an apology. They didn't want a change in attitude. They just wanted...
at some point... Okay, let's go in the boyfriend-girlfriend situation. You break up with a girl, and you endlessly keep texting them. Right? And they say, at first they say stuff like, yeah, when I'm in a good place, maybe we can go out for coffee sometime, but not right now. I'll let you know though. But then the dude keeps texting, drunk texting, in fact. That's a factual fucking statement, by the way. Drunk texting. Eventually, they might make it public. And I'm not saying they're going to make a YouTube video, but they might tell the circle of friends, like, man, this guy, you know? Can we get him to stop, please? Right? Because they don't want to make that direct connection because it's just not their place anymore. If you treat someone's bad behavior long enough, it's like, all right, I don't want to deal with you anymore. I don't want you to do this anymore, but I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Okay? So I'm going to make it public here to kind of get the point out, right? And that's what he's doing. Yeah, you can't stop love. I know.
Wanted that relationship to end then and there. Done. Right? Because they could have.
That's definitely not a personal story, please. Oh, well, you hear about the personal stories on Saturday. Breakups. Of course, I have some breakup tales to tell.
Behind the scenes, reached out to me about to talk about it, and they never did. So I didn't watch this video right away. It was at least months, if not maybe even a year, till I actually watched the video myself, just hearing hearsay of what it was. And basically, I never really wanted to. I basically acted like it didn't exist. All right.
I have the on Google Maps loaded up the place one of my breakups happened too. It'll be hype. It'll bring up a lot of bad memories, but it's gonna be hype.
Never really addressed it over the years. Like I already said, sometimes I would just casually mention it in my content, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just ignored it completely. Right? I should have. And then,
okay,
you know, as time passes and all that, I always will say like 2017 was one of the worst years and best years of my life for various different reasons. But I changed the content I was putting out. I changed the format of the content. I met my now wife. I began
Mr. Extravagant.
A life-changing...
Okay, we don't need to hear this.
The first time in 2015, some longtime fans of mine were shocked to the point where they said, I'm never watching your content ever again, and they left.
Yes.
And there was nothing I could do about that.
Okay, are we ever going to start it? Or I think we got enough preamble here, man. Okay, so let's try... I'm going forward 3 minutes here. Nope.
Things that have happened. Let's address them so we can move past them. I did that with the Down the Rabbit Hole video, and we're doing this with John Howard today. So this way I can finally say, hey, you got questions? You know, you want...
Oh, okay, let's go.
One final theme.
Oh my God.
Trolling, troll bait, and responding to people who are just trying to get a reaction from you. Yeah, that's a problem that I've always had. I get baited like crazy by people.
What?
Okay, that's a full lie. Already I'm crotching. Okay, which is fine, but then they go into money.
Oh no, I gotta hear. Okay, so now we're getting the full bunk. What do you call that? Full pre-bunk. Okay.
It's very confusing. I'll try my best to clarify, but even for me, like, I get my head rattled listening to this because it jumps all over the place. And it's hard for me to put my finger on...
I'll show you how that's not true when we get there.
What they're talking about at certain time periods, okay? Another running theme that you're going to hear is about money, and John and Howard saying things like it's not about money, okay, which is fine, but then they go into money over and over and over and over and over again, multiple times, multiple subjects. So if it's not about money, why do they keep bringing it up? I never... Okay, that's a full lie. Already I'm catching myself in a lie. I almost said I never talked about money with them. That's bullshit. I did. That's one of the major problems is I, over the years, was accused by...
Good start. Okay, that's a full lie. Listen to that. Have you ever said that in your life? Okay, that's a full lie.
Okay, that's a full lie. Already I'm
Big ups.
catching myself in a lie. I almost...
I'm already catching myself in a lie. He just said that. All right, I'm already catching myself in a lie here. I was going to do that later. Sorry. Started a bit too early here. Let's let the video start before I start lying, okay? Sorry about that.
Said I never talked about money with them. That's bullshit. I did. That's one of the major problems is I, over the years, was accused by the public of being bad to these guys. And people would think of reasons why these guys would not like me anymore. Didn't you pay them? Well, then I would say, well, actually, yeah, I did. John in particular got paid this and that. I never should have done that shit. Stupidity. We'll address that. But the running theme here is money.
Yeah.
And...
Ooh, utterly insane with the Rambo pull. Very topical.
Man, if anything, by the end of this video, are we going to learn something about friendships and money? They don't mix. Okay? Holy shit.
Well...
One final theme.
If you treat people like shit, then yeah, they don't mix. But there is a way to make it mix. It is very common that friendships break over money, but, there is a way to make it so it doesn't, like being reasonable, but all right.
Trolling, troll bait, and responding to people who are just trying to get a reaction from you. Yeah, that's a problem that I've always had. I get baited like crazy by people, whether it's on social media, in the comments of my own videos, the stream chat, my forums, anywhere. People hounding me, asking me the same question, trying to get information, and I should have shut it all off, and I didn't, okay? Yeah. So those are kind of the running themes. The timeline's very confusing.
That's not true.
Money isn't an issue, but it is. And Phil falling for troll bait, okay?
Okay.
Keep those in mind as we watch this, and it'll make a lot more sense. Now we can begin. Actually, I'm just kidding.
Great joke. Okay, so I'm going to jump forward to when Howard tells the tale of being unfollowed. Okay, so here we go.
Day, which I don't really understand.
So, they got the preamble stuff. Nothing much happens at the beginning there. Let's talk about the preamble of their relationship, blah, blah, blah. Let's start with the Thanksgiving unfollow.
And last year, Thanksgiving, you decided to unfollow me.
Okay, now.
Yes.
Here's where the timeline already is skewed. He just started a video that's basically going to explain the things that I did that were messed up, okay, that caused them to not want to be my friend anymore.
Yeah?
Let's start with the video he just made on Thanksgiving. Oh, wait, let's talk about last Thanksgiving. Wait, what? But you didn't... Can we get to the video about Thanksgiving? No, he goes back a time a year. And this video is very confusing.
Not really.
Because he does this a lot. They jump around the timeline.
Who gives a fuck? What is this, a movie? Is this Marvel Universe? We got to keep up with the timelines? Who gives a shit?
And it's like, so what? In what order did this happen? Did this piss you off first that led to this, or did this happen?
Who cares?
I'll do my best. I really will. But this is the first instance, and it keeps happening that they jump all around. So now we're going back in time.
Trying to discount what they're saying by saying it's confusing, even though anyone with a fucking brain can see it's not confusing. And really, it doesn't even matter. It's not a storyline we have to keep up with. Yeah, that's Mimsy. You got it. He's trying to confuse the audience so much that they just like, all right, yep, you're right, Phil. Got it. Where do I tip? Where's your PayPal again? Can I get the PayPal link?
Thanksgiving 2014. Okay? Yeah. Here we go.
Which caused some issues. So something with Thanksgiving. I don't know if he's eating something that doesn't agree with him. Maybe he needs to follow your turkey recipe.
All right, come on.
Yeah,
Howard. Come on, Rambo.
It really, I think for me, it really started with that because
I love the echo.
Not only did he unfollow, like the way I noticed it was when I was on Twitter. I looked at his people that he was following, and he unfollowed both of us.
The way I noticed it is that I was on Twitter, and I just happened to be looking at the people that Phil...
That's not what he said. He noticed you unfollowed him.
Phil was following on Twitter, and I noticed that he had unfollowed both of us.
So who cares?
Huh? That's confusing.
No, it's not.
So you just randomly go to @ they call me DSP and look at who I follow randomly and noticed? No. I don't. Do you do that? Do you go to someone's Twitter profile and just check who they're following constantly and like see, you know, that's confusing to me.
Yeah.
I know exactly what happened. I unfollowed them and the internet trolls.
So you did do that, and it doesn't matter how they found out, by the way. Who gives a shit?
Message them about it.
Yeah.
Likely spamming their comments, leaving tweets on their Twitter accounts.
Yeah, that's true too. Iwamoto, good point. You can have a follow suggestion. You might want to follow this person. It's like, oh, I thought he was following me. Oh, he's not following me anymore. Let's see if he's following Rambo. Oh no, he unfollowed us both. It's pretty simple. And again, it's irrelevant. We're just trying to muddy the waters even more about what they're telling us here. Because Robert Williams says, I hate how he used the term fess up, as in he can't find any more excuses, defense to hide behind. So he just throws his hands up and says, fine, I did it. Robert Williams, great comment. You are right. Fess up means I can't lie this one away, so I'm just going to fess up. Like it's the last stand, right? The last thing I can do is, well, I fucked up. Hope you can forgive me, guys. See ya. Because Utterly Insane, who says, you say your streams aren't about money and never shut up about it. He had to lie to protect his other lies, dude. Big ups, Utterly Insane. Smitty Woodman Jensen says, I'm telling the truth, except for all these lies. Let me give you the 3. Keep this in your mind, by the way. Iwamoto says, when a common liar lies so hard, he has to admit it. You know it's a special time. I already caught myself in a full lie.
Etc., etc.
Oh, etc., etc.
And it bothered them. So then they went and looked and noticed, oh, Phil unfollowed us on Thanksgiving. Now we're getting harassed by a bunch of people on the internet about it, and that's not fair. Okay? So, fair enough.
Howard never said that's not fair, by the way. He's just adding stuff, remember? Philip likes to add a lot of things that people don't say. Howard never said that's not fair. But
okay. Here's the deal.
Okay, go ahead.
On that is this is kind of a pattern where
I get stuck in the corner, and then Cammy does spiral arrow.
I do something that you would think unfollowing someone on Twitter, anyone, doesn't matter if it's your friend, a celebrity, one of my viewers, you know, would have zero impact on anyone, right? But in the scheme of things, when you are online stalked by people 24/7, like, seriously, if I misspell a word on a forum post or something, they'll call it out. Something as innocuous as that, oh, that'll never do anything. There's a negative
Good example chosen, Philip. Better stay away with that pesky WWE Champions thing, huh?
repercussion no matter what. Okay? So, was this, oh my God, Phil is doing a horrible thing. He's unfollowing his friends on Twitter. What a huge dramatic... No, I never, ever thought of it like that. You can argue, oh, maybe...
It doesn't matter what you thought of it as. Howard is telling his side of the story. Thank you, Philip.
It's passive aggression or whatever. I never thought of it like that. It's actually directly addressed in this video later on.
Okay, let's watch
it.
The
whole situation around it, which we'll get to that when we get to it. But
I'm trying to talk as long as I can, so you guys will probably stop watching or stop listening. Thank you. I'm going to keep talking here for another 5 minutes before I push play, okay? Thank you.
Basically, to me... I wasn't thinking of it like that. And by the way, I didn't just unfollow Rambo and Howard. I unfollowed a bunch of stuff that day. I remember sitting down and I was getting bombarded with negativity about them for not being on John Rambo's Thanksgiving show.
That was it then, wasn't it, Philip? A little bit too much negativity, a little too much sadness, so you had to cope, unfollow, you know? Like when your ex is with going on dates on her Instagram, you have to choose to unfollow it because you can't handle it anymore, Philip? Is that the deal here, sir?
That he addresses that later, so I don't want to jump the gun on that. But I was being bombarded by a bunch of negativity, both from my viewers and trolls. Why aren't you on John Rambo's Thanksgiving show? You're always on John Rambo's Thanksgiving show. I don't understand. And so I was getting bombarded in all kinds of shit, all over the place, on social media, in the comments of my videos about this. To the point where I was like, you know, this is so fucking stupid and frustrating. Like, I don't want to deal with this dumb shit. This is so stupid. And I went on Twitter that day and I was like, This social media thing is fucking dumb. I'm so annoyed at it because people can spam me about bullshit like this. Who cares? You know,
This social media is so dumb. Fuck this. So it's all about Cope that he wasn't invited on the Thanksgiving show. 1,000,000% Cope that he couldn't get on the Thanksgiving show. This social media is so dumb. I hate it. And he unfollowed him in a rage. Gin-infused rage. Fuck it.
I'm so annoyed at it because people can spam me about bullshit like this. Who cares? You know, to my knowledge, there was no animosity between us for me not being on this show. So not only did I unfollow John and Howard, I unfollowed a bunch of other shit because at that point I remember I was looking at my Twitter feed.
I followed so many accounts. Okay, I unfollowed Rambo. I unfollowed Howard. I unfollowed Follow Me, Follow Back 6641753. I unfollowed User 298875123. Tons of accounts.
And here I am. I'm trying to follow news. I'm trying to follow gaming trends. I'm trying to follow shit going on the internet. And I got a million posts about John Rambo and Howard and how John Rambo didn't have Phil on his Thanksgiving show. Wow. Phil must be a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he really must have insulted John behind the scenes. I'm like, I don't want to do any of this at all. I want none of this. I want to be involved in any of this bullshit, toxic nonsense. So I unfollowed them, but there was other people too. There were people who I've been following who were also in on that, and I unfollowed them. But there was other shit too that I unfollowed that day. I just remember that Thanksgiving.
This is all true, by the way.
You know, having a personal day, kind of relaxed. It was a day I didn't make a lot of content. And I'm like, I'm just going to go randomly, on Twitter and see what's going on, see what's going on in the world. And
this is so bullshit. Oh, my God. This is such complete bullshit. I just happened to have a lot of time. I didn't make a lot of content that day, and I just decided to open up Twitter, and I was like, what? Huh? Man, people can talk about shit I don't care about. I got to follow the news. So I unfollowed tons of accounts.
Go randomly, on Twitter and see what's going on, see what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And all I see is a bunch of toxic, dumb shit about me not being on John Rambo's Thanksgiving special.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
And I started crying at that point. Tears were flowing, boy. Let me tell you.
Unfollow everything. Just unfollow all of it.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine that tear-filled rage unfollow parade? Fuck this. Unfollow everybody. I don't give a shit about social media. Fuck this.
Fuck this. I don't even want to follow any of it anymore. Okay? What happens? I get made to be like a villain for unfollowing people on Twitter. To me, like when you say that to someone.
Again. Howard was not making him a villain. Watch how like a minor thing Howard makes this. Howard's bringing this up he brings it up, so I guess it is something, but it's such a minor thing in the grand scheme of this fucking video. But Philip is making it sound like Howard wants to take a hit out on Philip because he unfollowed him on Twitter. It is nothing in the grand scheme of this video. Amazing. Big up, Shadow Slammer. Hey, bub. It me, Uzi Bub. I've been waiting for tomorrow. Marble Rivals an email, but dude, Snood, email back and say open Velcro. Snood jealous my Velcro. Snood better. And Phil, bub, like me. More he ate cake for me, bub. Phil is very wide. Big up, Shadow Slammer. You're a legend. Hope you do get to play Marvel Rivals. Keep sending those emails. He'll answer someday. Maybe. Wesley H. in the house says, man is filibustering over their truth with his lies when he could just be honest and say he was feeling hurt and lonely. And maybe drunk. Yeah, that's making himself way too vulnerable. We can't do that. We got to be the badass dude. You know that? We can't admit to feelings. Because men don't do that, right, Philip? Joe Dub in the house says, Phil is not that hard. It's not that hard to figure out you were following like 5 people at that time, so it went down to 2. I wonder who was unfollowed. Yep, that too. Anyways, this is a wild start. I guess maybe we will watch most of this. If it's going to all be like this. Just constant creation of stories.
You're a bad person because you unfollowed someone on Twitter.
Howard never said that. Troll said that. Howard never said that.
Do you want to talk about first world problems?
Howard never said that.
Being unfollowed by someone on Twitter is a problem for you.
Howard never said that.
That's a pretty good problem to have, I think. If that's a problem for you. Oh, God, I was unfollowed by someone on Twitter.
Howard brought this up as the beginning of the real point, by the way. It's not like this was the point. All right, number one, Philip unfollowed me. It's not like that. We're getting into the point starting with that.
All right? I don't ever look at who follows me, who doesn't follow me. I couldn't give two flaming shits about any of that. It means nothing to me.
You cared enough to rage unfollow them on Twitter on Thanksgiving in a baby man rage, gin infused, champions infused tantrum.
It never has and never will. Okay? So this part, like, you want to say Phil made a video out of turn, speaking up, saying messed up stuff, 100% I'm going to agree with you. When you say, wow, Phil did a really awful thing, he unfollowed me on Twitter, I'm going to say, what in the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, well, Howard didn't say that either, so I'm not sure who we're talking to here.
Like, what?
Okay,
I'm sorry, that one I don't get. Wow. That one throws me for a loop.
Finished yet.
All right, that's an issue for anyone being unfollowed on Twitter. Now, being harassed by trolls about it, I can understand. But you notice that's not what was said here. Howard's like, oh, I noticed it when I was just casually checking who was following me on Twitter, and Phil had unfollowed. What? Like, no, that's not. I know what happened. They got harassed, and this is another. As I said, this is a running theme. Because these guys are friends of mine in real life and are associated with me and make content with me.
Okay, I'm skipping past this.
The subject, at a moment's notice, they do something and they're criticized. They're slammed on for it. I do something, they're criticized. They get attacked. That's not fair.
No, they didn't do anything. You unfollowed them.
No, they should not.
Okay, trolls.
Be bothered on Thanksgiving because someone unfollowed them on Twitter on Thanksgiving Day. That should be the last thing they're contacted about. That should be the last thing they're bothered with.
Okay,
but
I'm skipping past this.
You're going to find
this is such not a big deal, and Philip doesn't feel the need to defend himself that we're defending it now for 10 minutes, possibly. And Howard talked for about two sentences.
The trolling?
No pre-stream today, guys. Doctor's trip for the children. The children. We're back in the house tomorrow, though. Don't worry.
Both sides.
Maybe we'll start early tomorrow. We'll see if I can convince Snoot about that.
It leads both of us to kind of do stupid shit, I feel. And this is one of the situations where I just think this is completely off base.
Completely off
base. This is something that was even an issue. Someone unfollowed me on Twitter, and a troll messaged me and told me, fuck them, block them.
Okay, I'm moving past this.
Something that would affect them. And
it is just a day. But
okay, here we go.
Stuff you
just explain the rhyme and reason.
And there was no really no rhyme or reason to it, which I thought was, I think that was the first shot.
I just explained the rhyme and reason.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, the rhyme or reason was I was pissed because people were bothering me saying, why wasn't I invited to the Thanksgiving podcast of John Rambo? And that hurt him so bad, that wounded him so bad, that he unfollowed them on the spot.
Stuff like, especially when you work and you work hard and stuff, you look forward to certain days off.
I'm loving this echo.
And like Thanksgiving is a certain day, like with your family and whatnot. And then like to do these things on Thanksgiving, it sounds silly. It is just a day, but you're showing no concern like for the other person. You know what I mean? Like you're going to cause shit. Like suddenly you get inundated with messages.
So here we go.
Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving. I want to spend a day with my family and friends, but I'm inundated with messages. So ignore them. I get messages every day.
And you don't fucking ignore them, that's for sure. And you didn't ignore them even on this day because that led to you
my sister's
unfollowing them. Why don't we apply our own logic to ourselves for in one case?
From a million different sources.
Yeah.
And if it's bullshit, I ignore it.
Yeah,
now, I'm much better at doing this today. Back then, not so much. Admittedly, this kind of shit would get to me. But it's Thanksgiving. You're spending it with your family, your friends, you're having a meal, you're sitting down. Why are you on the internet reading messages about people saying that Phil unfollowed you on Twitter?
Philip, why are you online reading messages about people saying, why aren't you on the Thanksgiving show with John Rambo? You see how easy that is? It's pretty easy.
Like what? Why is it? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Again, these guys, sadly.
Again, this guy, sadly, was bombarded.
Were bombarded with trolling and didn't know how to handle it. They weren't like me. Unlike me, they didn't have this public face where constantly they were attacked in a negative way. In fact, I would say probably the years that I moved and everything, that was when the negativity started, where my trolls would go after them as a way to get at me, and they just couldn't take it.
Philip, okay, I'll try to translate this whole thing. It doesn't make sense. Again, this guy, Philip, sadly was bombarded with messages saying, hey, why weren't you on John Rambo's Thanksgiving show? And unlike most people, he didn't have the public face where he was constantly attacked in a negative way. What? Ashton and Andy are my friends. Follow the troll account. Follow the troll account. Oh, it is a troll account. Follow my Twitter account. It's not just announcements at all. I post a lot of shit on there, brother. Because Wesley H says, Phil is projecting his own insecurities with dealing with constant trolling onto his former friends, and this is why the lies will continue. And you are correct. As you can see, he's saying the things he wishes he did himself to them. Right? But he just told us about he didn't do that on this very same day.
And again, that's bad. It's nothing I intended. It's nothing I wanted to happen. I'm very sorry that it happened. But sadly, that's something that I couldn't have helped. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what. Okay. These idiots. Because at the same time,
we don't need to hear the whole story again.
The moment you give it, they could have done that these guys are being harassed. Sadly, it happened. Okay.
If you know, while you're trying to enjoy a day with your family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand completely. I just, there's a lot of, there's going to be a lot of things talked about, you know, and again, we're not here, and we just want to reiterate this, we are not here to defame anyone.
This is just to
let people know our side of the story, because people have a tendency to just view one thing and not look at it from another way and trying to understand the other party's view on it.
And I'm not English.
Sounds good to me, Philip.
I agree with Howard. Okay? Absolutely.
Here's why I don't agree, though.
They have the right to make a video that's not defamatory and give their side of the story. Good. Please do. Because they weren't giving me their side of the story, right? They weren't speaking to me at all. So by all means, do that. Okay? However, as you will see as we get further and further into this video, we delve from the realm of the public to the private. There's many things discussed in this video that have absolutely nothing to do with the public. And every once in a while,
Philip, you read out John Rambo's DMs. Was that public too, or?
Look, we try to pry into our private arrangements or whatever. And in a lot of times, I was the one who misspoke and brought that stuff to the public and shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Pre-bunk
At the very
again?
same time,
at the very same time, here's why that's not that bad, and what they did is much worse.
Definitely some stuff in this video that they made that I would feel is completely hitting below the belt. And in fact, there is one segment,
Philip, we're gonna get there, brother,
that I can't believe they made.
Okay.
There is one segment in this video that is incredibly hurtful to me, and I don't know how I'm going to get through it publicly with you guys.
Okay, we'll find out when we get there.
It's really fucked up. Like, beyond belief fucked up. Like...
Okay, again.
We're going to get to it.
This is a pre-react. Hey, listen, guys, I know that they're going to say I did some fucked up shit. But just know, coming up in the future is something really fucked up they did. So just remember that. And also, the timelines they have is very weird. Just keep that in your mind, okay? They're going to say some fucked up shit in like 2 hours from now. Just remember that.
I'm not going to skip it. We're going to do it, okay? But that's the thing. We're not here to defame him. Okay, fine. But understand that when you made this video, it doesn't matter what your intentions were.
Are you talking about when you unfollow them on Twitter or something else?
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, so Philip, when you unfollow someone on Twitter that's in a public figure, when you have the following you have, Philip, there's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter your intentions. That's going to happen, right? So let's, again, apply Philip's logic to his own actions, okay?
This video, it doesn't matter what your intentions were.
Yep.
That's exactly what's going to happen, okay?
Similar to how they got inundated with troll messages when you unfollowed them on Thanksgiving. Okay, go ahead.
When you're going to make a video instead of addressing it with the person privately, you are going public with information that is defamation. It doesn't matter what your intentions were. Oh, I just want to stick up for myself. Fine. And you have the right to do that, but you're also defaming the person at the same time.
Okay.
And
okay, let's see what the exact... I want to be careful here about my words here. What exactly does defame mean? Okay? So defame. I'm checking this for a very specific reason. Okay? Here we go. Defame means to attack the good name or reputation of... by uttering or publishing maliciously or falsely anything injurious, slander, or libel. So defame means saying things that are not true. I think we can agree, right? And that's something that Howard and Rambo, of course, don't think they are doing. And even Howard, Philip's not saying that. Philip is saying in this specific case that bringing up private things is defaming. That's unfortunately not what defaming means.
absolutely, that's what happened. Is this video was viewed as, here's the evidence from all the years that we said that Phil's a piece of shit and Phil's a scumbag and Phil's an asshole.
There we go. Thanks,
here's the
Nugs.
definitive evidence. Even his closest friends hate him. And that's exactly how this video was presented on the internet for many.
And again, they never say they hate you. They do a very good job of just bringing up the behavior that they didn't like about Philip. They say nothing about how they don't like him as a person. It's all about the actions. Big ups Warren, who says, this sounds like some teenage girl on the phone type stuff. It really does, doesn't it? It really does. But I'm here for it.
Many years. And again,
I'll fix it.
I knew that if I responded to this video, all right, it would just hurt these guys. At that time, they had internet presences and everything. And I didn't want to do that at the time. Okay?
Right.
Now it's different. Now it's past. They don't have internet presence anymore.
Now my viewership is really low, so I don't really care that much anymore.
They don't really care about it. They moved on. Thank
How
God.
do you know?
I'm happy for them. I hope they have great lives outside the
How do you know?
internet. But to this day, I am the one who gets questioned about this every single day. Why they make this video? Is what they said true? Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And again, some of the stuff in here, absolutely, I will fess up to.
Yep.
There's some stuff, there's one segment that I feel is so below the belt.
We already pre-bunked this one, brother. Come on.
Actually, like, ridiculously fucked up and off base.
It's amazing.
That I don't even know how to respond to it.
Okay, well, you've already let us know about that twice now. You think that's enough promotion for that extremely fucked up moment, or we're going to go to that again?
But we'll get to that.
Okay.
Like, I don't know about you. I'm not angry with the guy. We've said before publicly, like, we wish him the best, don't wish him any ill. You know, I hope he, like, makes a ton of cash.
You listening, Philip?
And, has a great life, man.
You
know?
listening, Philip?
Why would I not feel that way?
You listening, Philip?
How does that affect me?
Yeah, and going back to what we were saying before.
There's a weird running pattern in this video as well, where John basically says, I just wish everyone the best, everyone rich and famous and make money and do well. How does that affect me? He doesn't just say it about me, he says it about others too. And we're going to get, that's coming up.
Yeah,
after,
so what?
Let's continue.
Is that a bad thing? What? Okay.
We don't make money. I don't make money off of this, and I don't know about you, John, but it's not something that bothers me. It's just something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, man. Until this point, which is a good, it's been a long time. Until this point, we've not said anything against him because, like I said, I wish him the best. I don't want to hurt him. And saying anything
I don't want to hurt him
about him, I feel could hurt his livelihood.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, there's a lot of history. There's a lot of good times, man. There's a lot of really good times.
Any comment, Philip?
And,
Positivity here? Positivity?
You kind of you'll piss on a lot of that stuff by doing this. And I feel like things should be kept in-house amongst friends. Mm-hmm. You know, a circle of trust amongst friends, Howard. Do you believe in such things with people?
No, I wholeheartedly believe in that, and that's why I'm a little ticked off about this, because...
Howard, why are you ticked off?
He was going to tell us if you could push play again.
Howard, how are you involved? Howard, hello, Howard. You're not even in this. This is...
We're going to hear about how much Howard is in this, including a part where Philip said, if you don't come to my going away party, that will cement the fact that we're not friends. I think that categorizes himself as being in this video.
between me and John. When I moved,
Okay.
it was about me and John having an ongoing relationship. Me and John having content we were going to make together and still be friends and contact and all of that. Howard was not in our circle of friends. Howard was friends with John, but he was not a direct friend of mine who we even discussed having any kind of ongoing relations of any sort. Seriously.
You're not relations is funny. I did not have sexual relations with that man, Howard. But Philip, we're definitely not going to hear about drunk texts sent to Howard then later, are we? I mean, we better not, because that'd be pretty weird after this, wouldn't it?
Seriously, like there was none of that. And again, I think people assumed this from this. Here you go. Here's the example. A picture of the three of us together from a video we made. A picture from the three of us together from a video we made. And you would see this on the internet and you would think, oh, you know, Howard is just massively involved in this. But Howard is not massively involved in this in any way. This is me and John's relationship and Howard interjecting himself into this situation.
Okay, well, keep up. Okay, just here's a example here. I'm just going to give you a quick example here of how Philip addressed Howard. Let's just see. How does Philip address Howard? Oh, get out of here, Wolverine.
Friend Howard's channel. This is my friend Nestor's channel. This is my fighting game channel. This is my Rockstar Games channel. This is my old archive channel. This is my Final Fantasy channel. This is my friend John Rambo's channel. This is my friend Howard's channel. This is my...
There are about 30 examples of that, by the way. I just played one.
Likely for the purposes of this video, to try to accentuate reasons why they had a falling out with me. Because, quite frankly, there's several times here you will see another running pattern in this video. Howard seems to get very upset with me over things. He gets very, very over the top, extrapolating, exponentially angry.
Nailed it. Extrapolating, exponentially angry.
Okay.
And by the way, Howard is just Howard is much more outspoken than John Rambo, right? John Rambo's the kind of guy that when he's angry, he's still going to have the same speech patterns, I imagine, right? You know? Hi, I'm extremely angry with you, and I will now tell you why I'm so angry. Howard, on the other hand, is more emotive, and that's a big difference. That's the only difference here.
And that's fine. If he feels that I wronged him. But this is supposed to be in reference to why is John not Phil's friend anymore? Why is John not showing up in Phil's content? That was the discussion. When this video came out, it was all of a sudden it's John and Howard. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Why are you in this video? Really?
Well, he has many reasons, which he's going to explain later. Big up Joe Dub says you were never invited to our sword fight, Howard. Howard.
He could have made his own video. But it's like...
He's still great friends with John Rambo. Why wouldn't he make a video with his still to this day good friend, Howard and John Rambo?
Double piling on.
Bubble?
But it's like double piling on it's the circle of friends, the circle of trust. Yes, between me and John. Correct.
Oh. Okay.
Correct. When did I even ever publicly talk about Howard? Go ahead and...
Okay. Go ahead.
Maybe I'm wrong, and you can call me on this. I want you to call me on this.
Oh, I will.
Go back and look during that time frame of me moving in 2014 and then 2015 and trying to talk to John, get an answer from John, right? Where did I even talk about it? It was always me and John. So this is like weird.
No, it's not. Huh? Well, so he's trying to do the classic semantic side fill here when he said when during that period, as if this video is only about that period after he moved. Because at that period, he didn't really talk about Howard that much during that period, but who gives a shit? Howard's talking about a different period. You don't think it's worth talking about that other period as well? Or it has to be specifically after you moved is the only time period they can have grievances? Oh, that's interesting.
This video is John and Howard reacts to Phil or responds to Phil. Phil wasn't talking about Howard. Phil wasn't looking to have content with Howard. Phil wasn't looking to have an ongoing friendship with Howard.
You're not going to drunk text him then, right?
He was our Street Fighter buddy who we brought in for certain projects and events and parties and things. And basically, and again, I'll tell you this, we're going to get to this point. We basically kind of had a falling out at the end of when I moved, all right? And I never expected to even talk to the guy ever again. That's me being real talk with you guys. Like, I never thought that he would ever want to talk to me again.
Because you did something that fucked up, you're saying?
I have a desire to talk to him again because of the way that things went down at that last event that we did together.
That'll be good.
And that's going to be pulled out here and extrapolated upon later on in this video because he brings it up. Okay?
Guys, my sister's not being abused.
Philip said, you may be able to prove him wrong. Bring up when I talked about Howard after moving. Okay, well, let's go to the Patreon launch special announcement. This is 2015, which is definitely in the timeline that Philip said.
It was a gaming comedy series, live action, called Project 7 that starred myself and my friends Howard and John Rambo.
What? Let me hear that again. This must be wrong here.
Live action called Project 7 that starred myself and my friends Howard and John Rambo.
The fuck? What? I think I heard something weird here.
Live action called Project 7 that starred myself and my friends Howard and John Rambo.
Okay. Cool.
So, again, it's weird to me. And by the way, I'm not trying to dump on Howard. I'm just saying this is weird. That when this video came out, people were like, wow, Howard was really mean to you. Howard? Again, like, what are you talking about, Howard? Like, I never heard a negative word from Howard. I'm serious about this now. Never did Howard call me and say, I'm mad at you. Never did Howard text me and say, why did you do that? Never in person did Howard say, man, you did something fucked up. Any complaint I ever heard was from John.
Okay.
And it was always an issue John had with me. It was never, oh, Howard is mad at me. This is literally the first time that I heard everything from Howard was this video. Okay?
Now
so
listen. Yeah. Because he got endless drunk texts from him and didn't even respond when Howard let you know someone died. We're going to hear about it in a second, though.
Let's make that clear. This whole situation was between me and John, not Howard. And it's weird that he interjects himself so often, apparently, into this when he was not involved. He just wasn't. Every once in a while, he'd be in it. And it's just so odd to me that this was put out like this. Okay?
So he was not involved except when he was every once in a while. Cool. Big ups, Alan says there wouldn't have been a video and numerous replies from Phil if Howard wasn't involved. That's true too. Yep. Howard's the one that made, I'm sure Howard was the one that made John say this. Like, listen, dude, Philip is saying some fucked up shit about you, man. Let's just make this video. And John probably didn't want to make it himself, and then he does it.
Okay. By the way, I need to split the part soon, probably another 10 minutes.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, you can't even trust him.
Here we go.
In terms of, like, sending a message, like a text message, because you don't know if that's going to get publicly put on, like, YouTube.
Howard. Hello, Howard. You never sent me a text message outside of one or two, which will be addressed in this video.
Oh, okay. So you never sent me a text message except when you did. Okay.
We never had conversation like that behind the scenes ever.
Okay.
I never revealed a text from yours ever public. This is all John. He's literally talking and projecting John in what he's saying as if it happened to him. It didn't. This is John he's talking about. John, we would text back and forth. John was the one who I should not have, and I revealed some private information on one of my streams. Not Howard.
I'm going to read Howard's exact words. You can't even trust him in terms of, like, sending a message, like a text message, because you don't know if that's going to get publicly put on you like YouTube. Because Philip did that to John. So if you know Philip might do that, right? If you know Philip might do that, that still affects you. Because he'll say John's shit online. He might say about your shit as well. Makes sense to me. Twerk to Speck in the house says, we sit here and laugh, but imagine how creepy this must be to John and Howard. Like, dude, we don't date. Stop publicly breaking up with us. Yeah, that's true, too. Like, come on, man. Please. Can you forget about us, please?
But he's talking like it's him. It's not. This is a complete misrepresentation of the situation that happened.
No.
To try to make me look worse. And
he said, I didn't trust sending you messages because you already read John's messages out, so I'm kind of scared you might send out my messages, too.
I don't appreciate it. I just don't. You can say I'm bad because I did bad things, and here's the bad things. He's saying I did things to him that never happened. Okay?
or if he's going to make a video about it. Because it's something, you know, if I send you a message, I don't expect you to the next day or 2 days later or whatever make during your regular vlog sessions.
didn't.
You go ahead and,
Yes,
and
you
you
did.
publicly read the message.
That happened once with John.
Yes.
That's a great point.
So it still happened, and you have a track record of doing that. Oh, yeah. Well, I shot one person, but I didn't shoot you, okay? So why are you scared of me shooting someone again? I didn't shoot you.
Because, like, what we're going to be doing today is kind of maybe revealing some things. And I've kind of really held against doing that because it does make you, in a sense, a hypocrite to be doing the same thing that has caused you pain or caused you, to be pissed off.
Now, you guys might give them a hard time for this. You may not. You say,
I'm not.
It's
Trust
true.
me, I'm
they
not.
were angry at Phil for doing this,
Yeah.
right? Then why did they make the video? Okay. There's a lot of theories on this. What they say.
There's a lot of theories on this. Like it's a scientific theory. There's a lot of theories on this, okay? People aren't really sure on this one. Some people say it might be a black hole situation. Some people might say it's a supernova. A lot of theories on what this is exactly. It's all over the internet.
The video, okay? There's a lot of theories on this. What they say outright in the video is the reason they're doing this is to save face, to basically protect themselves. Because I said a lot of things that are false, and they want to clear the air and defend themselves. And you'll see by the end of the video, they seem to say that they want me to contact them about this to hash it out, okay? But again, the video has a lot of stuff in it that's not true or half-truths. The whole this Howard stuff is wrong, okay? That, again, there's one thing in this video that is so hurtful to me.
That's the third time we're bringing up this big thing, aren't we? It's wild. The third time we're bringing up. Trust me, it's not that bad yet, but one day in the future, you're going to hear Howard did something so fucked up. It's going to blow your mind, guys. I might cry. I might fucking cry, guys. Just wait, though. This isn't that bad. Howard didn't say anything even... Howard said nothing. Nothing at all yet. He said, I don't trust him because he showed your text on YouTube publicly, and I was scared he might do that for me. That's it.
Me to this day that I'm going to have a hard time.
And also he said that you unfollowed on Twitter on Thanksgiving. That's the two things that have been brought up about Philip so far. Only those two.
That, again, there's one thing in this video that is so hurtful to me to this day that I'm going to have a hard time getting through today.
Third time.
And they know that. It's not that they didn't know.
Okay.
They knew that was going to hurt me, and that's why they included that in the video. Okay? This, you could, as much as you could say this is for them to defend themselves.
Yes.
All right? From my perspective, I feel like this is a final goodbye. Like, this is them saying to me,
nope.
Listen.
That was in no way their intention, as they said.
We tried to ghost you for a year, man. You're not getting the picture. Here's our side of the story. Stop bothering us. We're tired of you. The toxicity of your trolls is ruining our lives.
Nope.
The shit you're saying is hurting us.
Yes, that part's true. That part is true.
Fucking move on and leave us alone. That's how I take this. To this day, when I watch this, I still feel that way.
Well, we can take things however we fucking want. It doesn't make it true. When that girl slapped me, I think she actually means she's interested in me asking her out again in the future. That's how I take it as to this very day.
Maybe you guys will watch it and feel different, but again, you don't understand the perspective that I have because you haven't heard it yet. You're going to hear it, okay? All right.
But it gets to the point, like, enough is enough, man. At this point, it's really jumped the shark. And things have got to be put out there, man. Sadly.
Yeah. Yep.
And the thing that's like, it's another thing that's sad about it is no one listens to this kind of stuff, and then, or listens to like him talk about us or us talk about him, and then goes, "Oh, these guys are fucking cool." You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
It's disgusting stuff. It's sad. Yep. It's not. You're not creating content. It's freaking garbage content. For the bottom of the barrel, man. And
Philip, he's talking about the stuff you said about them on your vlogs, by the way. I mean, hope you know that, right?
That's what it is.
Oh, nice burp.
But you get dragged into it.
Why do you think I avoided doing this for 6.5 years? Right? For as many people that are watching this right now and just want to have clarity on what happened, how the hell did this friendship fall apart? there's another half of the people here who are just drama hound idiots who just want to fucking laugh at the situation and make fun of us and say, oh, Phil's a scumbag and this
I don't
and
want to
that.
make fun of them.
It's fucked up. He's right. This is not, there's no winners in a situation like this. There just never is. All right? That's why I'm trying to approach it from a point of view to let you guys know.
From my extremely biased one-sided review, my one-sided view, so you guys will still hopefully think positively enough about me that you'll still tip me.
I was wrong with the stuff that I did, but I also do have to call out the things in here that are pretty ridiculously unfair, of which we will address, and we've already started.
You know.
So just to be fair, the things that have been addressed so far by Howard and John are unfollowing them on Thanksgiving, which wasn't even a big grievance. They just said, wow, we got to deal with that shit because Phil unfollowed us. And Howard said, I'm not comfortable texting Phil because he's shown in the past that he would definitely read out the message that that John sent him. So there we go.
So, you know, getting back to his video, it's really full of which, as I said, it's an example of the problem itself. You know, it's full of what's been a long history of him saying things publicly, out of turn, exaggerating things, or saying just saying shit that's just not true.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna split the video here. Okay. By the way, now we're gonna make headway because I don't have to give that giant half an hour to 45 minutes of, you know, backstory.
That's called pre-bunking.
We're gonna start making big progress in the video, but I want
We're gonna make great progress in the video.
ladies.
We're gonna make big progress in the video here. Okay. All right. So let's go to Pay Me Tons. This is featuring the Pay Me Tons. Oh wait, I can't search Pay Me Tons. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
By the way, this is really where this video is where the big problem started with my trolls getting interjected into the situation. It was this very video you guys are about to see that started all the problems with the trolls harassing us on both sides. Let's do it.
Yep.
And I'm not exactly sure what that is in reference to. Now, there was a video I put out, Pay Me Tons, parody, right?
Yep.
Hi,
Here it is.
Great
my
video.
name is John, and I'm special
Thanks for playing this, Phil.
because I upload videos to the internet. But being so important does have its dark side. In fact, it means that my life is much more difficult than everyone else's. While you're following the average path of working a traditional job, attending school, or perhaps both, I'm following my dreams and busting my ass. Talking over video games, posting breakfast pics, and vlogging about movies that I hate. Creative things. And as we all know,
Amazing.
Creativity is fueled by pure cash. This is why I've opened a Pay Me Tons account. It's an internet website that allows people like me to receive lots
I'm
of
saving you, trust me.
creativity from people like you. Simply log in and
I'm
transfer
saving
the
you.
entirety of your bank account into my Pay Me Tons account. I won't even get out of bed for less than $50. And then together,
all true.
we'll make sure that the world, well, my world, is a much more creative place.
Told ya. Okay, Philip.
I'm not sure
Why do we go this mode?
where we talk shit about him. I mean, we made that Pay Me Tons parody that says Dark Side in it. But I'm not sure where we talk shit about him. Okay? Now, for the record, I think this is funny. I do. I laugh at it.
Yeah, definitely. I laughed at it. Okay. Just so if you want to see Philip's real reaction to this at the time it came out, let's see if he thinks it's funny. Let's hear him talk about it here.
Like, yeah, originally when John Rambo made a very hurtful video about me with Howard, and I watched it, and I'm like, this is all stuff I never knew about, and if they just told me, we could have, like...
Oh, shit. That's not the video. That's not Pay Me Tons reaction. My bad.
I think this is fucking hilarious. This is a razzing, okay? But this is a razzing that
that's
happens,
a razzing, all right.
Okay? In early 2015. It might have been late 2014, but I'm pretty sure it was early 2015. This happened on John Rambo's podcast. This was an open, like a cold open to his podcast. Okay?
It's a cold open,
At the
guys.
time, no.
It's an industry term. It's a cold open.
Now I know it was early 2015 because that's when I opened my Patreon. So it was early 2015. At this point, it's almost a year has happened. Okay, almost a year has happened. All right, or since I moved. I've been trying.
Almost a year has happened.
Trying to have constant contact with John and have conversation, figure out what's going on with him.
I was messaging him a lot.
Okay, figure out where we're going to make content. And every time that I texted him, I felt like he felt like I was always asking about videos or content, and that wasn't the case. I never felt like every time that I would reach out to John, it was about, let's make videos, let's make videos. I was genuinely interested in how he was doing and everything that, because he was in a very stressful time where he was making Schnozman and a whole bunch and a lot of other
We'll see about that,
stuff
won't
was going
we?
on. He actually talks about this in this video, so it's okay for me to say this is not private.
Pre-bunk.
He already talks about it in this video, okay?
Why don't we wait till we get to that part
So
then?
this was the time frame, like mid to late 2014,
Oh my
early
God.
2015. John stops directly responding to me. He stops responding to my texts and everything, okay? People are constantly asking me, Phil, what is going on with you and John? Why, are you going to do content with him? Is he talking? What's going on? All right? I should have said, fuck off, none of your business. That's where, okay, maybe not fuck off, that's kind of harsh. Maybe I should have said, none of your business. Don't ask me that question. It's between me and John. But instead, I would constantly, I don't know, everything's fine. Maybe we're going to do content later this year, I'll let you know. Oh, John, and then sometimes I would, sadly, reveal information. If John did text me back, I would say something out of turn I shouldn't have said. That was private. My
Yes.
fault. All that I'll take responsibility for, okay? John's not talking to me actively at all. Everyone
Right.
suspects there's an issue there, but I'm not being truthful. Truth is, I don't know what the issue is, but he's not talking to me anymore. After months of not talking to me, he puts this out. So what do you think the people on the internet think this is? Even if he's saying it's not about me, even though it says dark side in it, it's about me, okay? What do you think people think?
I once thought there was a chance it wasn't about him, but yeah, it definitely was. The timeline lines up too perfectly. This is definitely Rambo making a video about him. But it does go with everyone, right? There's a lot. This is when Patreon was really popular, man. That's when Patreon first came out, I believe, and it was a big thing for YouTubers to do. So yeah, but it was definitely targeted.
Thing. Wow. John out of nowhere, out of left field, just slammed Phil. Phil hasn't said anything bad or insulting about John, but John just slammed him.
Who said that?
Wow. He fired the first shot. And that's the funny part, because they said in this video, Phil fired the first shot. Okay? Me unfollowing them on Thanksgiving.
They never said that was the first shot, I don't believe. Was that word used?
Was firing the first shot, according to Howard. No. I was not trying to hurt them by unfollowing them on Thanksgiving. This is a direct, intentional, concerted effort, a produced segment of a show slamming me for opening a Patreon. Has my name in it. You can't dispute it's about me. Sorry,
Yeah?
you just can't.
I thought you
okay?
said it was funny, though.
Now, the funny part is,
here's the funny part.
in that Thanksgiving video that I made in 2015, I never said that they talk shit about me. I said if I was someone in a situation that had an issue, I would be public about it, confront someone to their face about it, and not talk shit. I never said they did. They did, but I never said they did. All of a sudden, they're bringing it up in this video. They're even referencing this Pay Me Ton segment. Why? Because either one of two things. They're feeling guilty because John made the segment and it absolutely was about me. So this is a way for them to try to deflect that and say it wasn't.
Don't think
or
that's the
because
case here.
everyone construed it as thus and messaged the shit out of them saying, why did you make this about Phil when he hasn't said anything negative about you? Why are you slamming him in this video?
Because he's making a funny video? It's not slamming. It is slamming, but it's a funny video. This is what razzing is, right?
I don't understand. Okay? Now, personally, I didn't take this as a direct insult.
Okay, right.
And they're
It
actually
definitely
going to
seems
talk
like
about that. So let's continue. Let's switch back over here. Okay. Here we go.
Real quick, let's just see what he said at that video he's talking about. This is the Thanksgiving. I know we watched it last time. Just a real quick taste. I think it's short, I believe.
Get to the point where business would hinder friendship. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of the big risk that you take when you go into business with someone, that it might negatively affect the relationship that you have the person outside of the business. And even though we treated the whole YouTube thing that we did together as like just a casual, silly thing, there was money involved and there were other factors involved. The bottom line is, never in that entire period of time, before I moved out of Connecticut, Did I ever get any, ever have any ill will or feelings toward John? Never did he have any real major ill will or feelings towards me that I knew of. He never said anything about money. He got paid for everything that he was involved in. He never said anything
Well, we're going to get the details of that in a
about
second.
money or anything like that. And we had great agreements.
Okay, got it. He's going to watch it.
It's a parody, man. I've done parodies in the past. Just to give you...
It's a parody that has my name in it. If it has someone's name in it, it's not a parody.
Yes,
a parody
what?
is a caricature of a person making fun of something. Not...
If it has your name in it, it's not a parody. Oh, I didn't know that.
So you directly reference my name. So it is actually a slam on me. It's not
a parody,
Parody
though.
would have been, a cartoonish content creator who isn't me, but maybe could be.
So when Saturday Night Live makes fun of Donald Trump, they have to call him Donald Clump because they want to make sure it's a parody, so they can't say the same name. Okay, I got it.
Construed as me. You said Dark Side in the video. That's not a parody anymore. You've passed the realm of parody when you name drop someone.
The
Okay.
little idea I've done.
Okay.
Parodies about machinima. I did a YouTube parody where YouTube was a talking vagina.
And they didn't directly reference him, by the way. They did say being creative has a dark side. That's it. Yeah, Phil said it was other people that thought it was slamming him, and Phil didn't. Yeah, Phil, you said it was a razz, huh? You just said it was just a razzing, and you loved the video.
A YouTube parody where
You said Dark Side in the video. That's not a parody anymore. You've passed the realm of parody when you name drop someone.
the
Okay.
little idea I've done parodies about machinima. I did a YouTube parody where YouTube was a talking vagina robot
I love that one. I've never seen that one.
that ran
Yep.
YouTube.
His parodies in the past, Machinima, the
Yep.
partner network that everyone knew that I was with for the longest period of time, YouTube, the website that I put videos on for a living. You see the running pattern here?
No.
Oh, I've done parodies in the past. Oh, by the way, every parody just happens to also be related to Phil. What a coinky dink, right? What a shocking coincidence.
Everything's
that
about
they
me.
all actually are related to things that have to do with Phil. Those others didn't name drop me, though. This one
So
did.
they're parodies
Okay.
then?
Doing GameStop, et cetera,
GameStop,
et cetera.
Philip? Okay.
Comes out, man.
Oh, and you missed that. He said GameStop, et cetera, et cetera. He did do a parody on GameStop. GameStop unfairly fired him because he was in my videos.
Okay.
We were at a together. I'm filming. And he's basically saying things like, this is the best game.
Okay.
The
We know when
Giant
he
later
got
on,
fired.
he talked all about this in his podcast. What does he do parodies about? Things that he feel have wronged him or things that are bad in relation to him. And all of it,
He thinks Patreon is bad in relation to
it
him?
has to do with me somehow.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
People get
Man,
a little
nice.
crazy about it. So 2 weeks later, you and I were on doing the show, and we explained it wasn't singling him out.
Has my name in it.
It was about many things, and not necessarily in a hateful manner. Like I think you can make fun of something
That I agree with.
and really not feel negatively about it at all. Actually,
Completely agree.
Yeah.
like Saturday Night Live, Phil Hartman would.
Oh, those aren't parodies, though.
Chris
They say
Bill
the names.
Clinton, I don't think he wanted to assassinate the president.
Very, very bad analogy.
Why?
Okay. Because he's saying Phil Hartman impersonates Bill Clinton. He doesn't want to assassinate the president.
Yeah, they don't say the name, though. Or do they say the name? That wouldn't be a parody if they said the name.
True. That's
Oh.
absolutely true.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But in this case, this was a different situation. No one was asking Bill Hartman, hey, Bill Hartman, didn't you used to have a friendship with Bill
Shoutouts Bill Hartman.
Clinton? Phil Hartman, excuse me. Did you have a friendship with Bill Clinton and you're not talking to him anymore, even though he keeps saying he wants to talk to you? You're ghosting him, and now all of a sudden you drop this video on him? There's a difference. It's context. The context is there's a sketch comedy show at night that makes fun of everything equal and isn't ill-intentioned at all, versus someone who everyone wants to know why you're not talking to Phil. You won't tell Phil or anyone else, and now you make a video that could be construed as a negative video about Phil. It's a completely different situation that he fails to really understand why it was construed by the internet like that. Again, I don't think it was actually intended, all right, as a video to be hurtful to me. I think he thought it was funny.
Why
I
are
think
we
it's
saying
funny.
then?
But you have to put it in context of the time. If he had released that video 2 years prior when we were still active friends and he was in my content or whatever, that would have been different. This is a situation where he's ghosting me. He's not in my content like he said he would be. And then he puts that out. Of course, the internet is going to say, that's a hit piece on Phil. Why'd you do it? And he got harassed for it. Basically, he got a lot of trolling for it.
No, not really.
at that time. Okay.
No, he didn't.
Right.
Everyone
Yep.
thought it was hilarious that he's making fun of Phil in just the comments, by the way. Everyone was a fan of it from John's side. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all right. You can say that everyone got trolled for him, but a lot of people thought it was pretty fucking cool.
I was having a good time with something. And that was really my, what it was about, man. Now, was he like an inspiration for the character that I was portraying in that? Yeah, sure, to an extent, you know? But again, not in a malicious, hateful way.
I believe that.
It's having some fun with something. But it's not, again, I think it's hard to say it's directly about one person.
Except this is dark side in it.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. The whole thing was about that, the Patreon
Right.
website. You know?
And now here comes Howard with a little segment I like to call Howard Deflects.
Okay. Well, we'll find this out. Okay, let's see.
Because this is going to happen many, many times during this video. Let's see how Howard can deflect this one off of them doing something wrong.
What people do.
Remember, Philip said they didn't do anything wrong. It was a razzing.
You know, and then what it is too. It's when you look at it, it's to basically shed light on some of the negativity that revolves around that site, and not only that site, but Kickstarter. Look at all the shenanigans that has transpired in the past like few years, where people like raise up all this money, promise a product, and then basically everyone's SOL. They took the money and people are fucked. You know, look at what happened with look at the disaster that Inafune's going out with that Mighty Number 9. That's still not out.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that one. Looking for hopefully
that did come
soon.
out.
Howard feels that a Pay Me Tons parody about Patreon, the content of which directly name drops me, makes fun of someone who basically is a content creator who does video content like playing games, commenting over food, etc., and asking for monetary compensation for said work is the equivalent of a Kickstarter campaign where a company does not provide a product for a contractual basis that is agreed to in said campaign for fundraising.
It was a adjacent thing that kind of is related to Patreon.
Patreon is not Kickstarter. They're not even close to being the same.
Well,
all right. He brings up a game, Inafune's Mighty Number 9, which did eventually come out, did live up to all expectations. Of course, at this point, it didn't. So he didn't know that was going to happen. But he's essentially saying, if you have a Patreon, you are taking someone's money and running and never producing.
Nope. Okay, let's go to the videotape. All right, let's go exactly to the videotape. Howard says the following. It's basically shed light on some of the negativity that revolves around that shit. And not only that side, but Kickstarter. Look at all the shenanigans that has gone on, that has transpired in the past few years, where people raise up all this money promising a product, and then basically everyone's SOL. Blah, blah, blah. Hopefully, and that's it. And so it's just like saying there's some negative shit that happens on those websites, and a part of John's video was shedding light on that negative side, making fun of it. That's it.
Said content that you promised to produce.
It's not directly saying, yeah, definitely. This is also Philip did Kickstarter, and he sucks on that too.
He's saying, okay, that Pay Me Tons segment was made in early 2015.
Oh, by the way, you're right, Anime. He did that with Project 7, legitimately. He did not live up to his promises on Project 7 Patreon goal. Yes. Howard didn't know how right he was, actually.
There was no controversy around my Patreon at that point.
This
video was made
Thank you for saying that.
later on in 2015.
Thank you for saying
that.
that.
It happened.
Thank you.
You want to know the skinny on that? Again, you
please.
can go watch me referring to the Down the Rabbit Hole video, Dark Side Phil. We go into that whole Patreon situation. Okay? So over the course of the year that this is out, they changed the narrative. Oh, this wasn't about us just making fun of filmmaking content. You see, this is us criticizing Kickstarter as a whole and saying that people aren't living up to the goals that they're promising or whatever, which is...
Okay, Philip blowing up one throwaway comment from Howard like it's the biggest deal in the fucking world. By the way, Howard had nothing to do with Pay Me Tons video at all, right? But okay, yeah, they work together in concerted effort.
Actually, incidentally, one of the controversies that I was embroiled in at the time with Patreon. Okay?
Well, you want to go further into that, or any details there? That sounds interesting. You did have a controversy on Patreon, though. Oh.
So...
Okay. Wow. That muddies the
he's
waters.
completely deflecting. My name is in the parody. You can't deny it's about me. If they had not put Darkseid in there, you can argue that. My name, Darkseid, is in the parody. It's about me directly. Okay. Personally, do I think that it was an actual mean insult? No. People told me about this. I watched it back myself, and I responded publicly and said, I don't think that's an insult towards me. It's kind of a funny joke. Yeah, it's razzing me, but they're not directly insulting me in this video. I don't believe it is. Okay? So if that's the case, why are they bringing it up in their video? Right? I outright said it's not an insult. I didn't say in my Thanksgiving 2015 video that they had talked shit about me. I said if I was someone who had an issue with someone else, I would say it to their face and I would not talk shit or anything like that. Okay. I'm telling you what I wouldn't do if I were in their situation. I didn't say they did it. You could say that I insinuated it, but I never said it. They're actually, in my opinion, guilty. They're feeling guilty that they made that, or John feels guilty that he made that. And to the point where so many people contacted him saying, you know, that's kind of mean-spirited. You made that about Phil at a time when you were kind of not talking to him.
What?
You were supposed to be in
So
his...
why the fuck would they bring it up then? Why the fuck would they bring it up? If that's what they thought. All right, let's because I've had enough of it. Let's read some of the comments of the people making fun of it and how much insults that were thrown their way. Okay, DSP, get wrecked. Stay ballsy, John. Love that intro. Pretty funny. The intro is great. One of your best yet. I won't get out of bed for less than $50, LMAO. That intro is simply amazing. But being so important does have its dark side. Best intro I've ever seen. That intro just screamed Darkside Phil. Love that intro yet again. That diss to Darkside Phil, the intro made me jizz. Who was that? No one deserved that more than Phil. Good on you, John. John Rambo effing rules. That intro was awesome. Best intro ever. I'll stop reading eventually. John Rambo never screwed DSP. DSP screwed DSP. DSP putting the rest of Crash 2 behind a paywall. Enough said. Okay, I found one negative one. I'm going to read it. I'm not a fan of DSP, but that intro is salty as fuck. Rambo waited until DSP moved away, then started to show his true colors. As a friend, he should have addressed any issues he had with Phil directly. This is definitely a Pignosis victim. This is nothing short of a blindsided attack. Nothing ballsy about that type of maneuver. That they might have traded words out of the public eye, blah, blah, blah. We don't know what could have happened between them. It's all in the DL. Not really. Phil recently talked in private with him. Phil somehow took to private emails and have read it live to his fans on Hate Live while adding extra words in the mouth he didn't use. Yeah, I mean, anyways, they're going back. It's kind of a dented argument here, but yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't care about this enough to read your wall of text. Have a good day, dude. Okay, you know he's a DSP fan. Look at this. Look at this. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to screenshot it. Watch. Okay, so they go back. Okay, so someone responded with like the fact that you started your comment with "I'm no fan of DSP" means you are likely one huge fan of DSP, attempting to make it look more like you're complete neutral on our DSP side. Goat the Great is the guy that was defending Phil, says, I'm sorry, but I don't care about any of this enough to read your wall of text. Have a good day, dude. Next comment. Are you done now? Or is this your life's work at hand? I, for one, am done. This is my final response. Again, enjoy. You can't say, have a good day, dude, and then go back. Have a good day, dude. I don't got time for this shit. Anyways, are you done now? Yeah, that does sound very Phil-esque. Let's open the account up. Goat the Great. His name is Goat the Great. His last video is 9 years ago. No, he makes videos. It's not him. Oh, here we go. We have some credit card advice from this gentleman, though. Let's listen to this guy's credit card advice. I don't think it's Philip, by the way, if you could tell.
It's the first day of spring, even though it's like fifth fall and cold weather that we've had recently. This is like $10 a month. It's gonna be 10% of that, so then you owe $121, and that's just a small value. That's just a small amount. Most people.
So, Philip Fan telling us to stay out of credit card debt. Thank you so much, Philip Fan. Anyways, there's 14 downvotes on the video. 14 people are K Galleon. The intro is amazing. Absolute perfection. Who would you rather work with? DSP or Konami? I don't get that. Anyways, let's move forward positively.
Content.
Philip again was saying that people were saying nasty shit to him, but maybe they did on Twitter, but I haven't seen it here.
You're not. This is kind of messed up. You did it, and he's got this underlying guilt that he made it.
Right, that makes sense.
And now he has to talk about it to defend himself in this video when I never brought it up.
That makes sense.
I outright said, and he'll even say this, I outright said, it's not about me. He's not insulting me. So why, John, are you bringing it up in this video then? I don't understand. And then why did you have Howard deflect the whole situation, say it was about Kickstarter? Patreon is not Kickstarter. They're two completely separate businesses with different intentions. It's not even equivalent. It's like apples and oranges. Massive deflection and an epic fail of a deflection right there.
Granny Smith and Golden Delicious.
So people make promises and they don't, go through with them, and that's basically what the parody was about, Yeah,
because I hate,
Wrong.
I hate
Had nothing to do with
Patreon, I hate
Kickstarter.
people that use it or something. No, I really, honestly, if everyone on there, hope everyone gets $1 million a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me in any.
John, if you say things like, I hope that everyone out there makes $1 million a month, it doesn't affect me, then why are you saying it? If it doesn't affect you, why are you saying it? Because it affects you.
What?
Listen, I'm guilty of this too.
What?
Why do I sometimes name drop other content creators that are bigger and more successful than me? Because I'm jealous.
What?
That's why. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I want everyone to have a great life. It doesn't affect me if they have a great life. Because I said that, it means it does affect me if they have a great life? What is that? What does this take?
I'm jealous of PewDiePie. Yes, I'm jealous of Markiplier. They're rich. I'm not. I'm jealous of them. Why do you think I bring them up? Right? Why would you even have a parody of that in your show unless you're somehow affected by it and feel that it's meaningful to you?
No, what? It's a funny joke, and you take the shot at a funny joke. Right? You don't have to be affected by things to think, okay, that's funny, I'm doing this. Right? Big up some Gator says, such a king of razzing. Not self-proclaimed at all. Oh, he knows how to razz. Let me tell you, he definitely understands razzing, too. On a professional level.
False narrative. He is affected by this. Money was a factor, or else none of this shit would have been brought up ever. If it really didn't bother him, he wouldn't make the parody about it. He's trying to bring light, a humorous light, to something that he feels maybe is kind of wrong.
Again, this is why they made this video in the fucking first place. Putting words in their mouth and thoughts in their head. He's trying to bring a humorous light to something that he feels is kind of wrong. What?
He's trying to bring light, a humorous light, to something that he feels maybe is kind of wrong. Not outright hurtful or criminal, but wrong. He doesn't agree that people make content and have a Patreon so people can support it with finances like that. He doesn't agree with that. That's why he made that clip.
No, he thought of a funny joke and made it.
Don't then say, oh, it doesn't affect me. I hope you're all rich. No, you wouldn't have made the clip if it didn't affect you. It's complete bullshit.
That makes sense.
Because I'm a bullshitter too, and I've done it over the years with these other guys. Yes, you are 100% you're affected by this, or you wouldn't have made it.
So this is a case of Philip saying, my thought process is the entire universe's thought process. Cool.
It's cause and effect, man.
No. Just throwing in cause and effect. What? Apropos of nothing, we just throw in cause and effect at the end, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's cause and effect. Anyways.
100% you're...
Yep, just two shakes of a lamb's tail. Anyways.
Affected by this, or you wouldn't have made it. It's cause and effect, man.
Yep, definitely. As the crow flies.
But again,
I gotta get a list of just random sayings to say at the end.
Main thing was like,
as they say,
on YouTube and
pot calling the kettle black, you know.
Anyways, no one has done a parody of this, which is interesting.
No one ever made a parody of Patreon, according to John here.
At that time, maybe not.
people want to have one, they don't want to make fun of it or something, or or they'll be called a hypocrite if they have one or something. So I felt like, I could get away with making fun of this thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking to really make money on this, or really have the option.
I'm not really looking to make money, or I don't really have the option. It's all in the way he says it. It's not that he doesn't wish that he could make money.
Was that burp in the way you said it? Let me hear that again. Oh, look, DSP Gaming, 9 views. He's been studying this thing.
The way he says it.
How many times has he jerked off to this thing, or at least attempted it?
It's not that he doesn't wish that he could make money. He doesn't have the option to do it. And that's why he's making parodies about Patreon, people trying to make a living doing it. He doesn't feel he could be successful doing it.
Okay, hold on.
Money.
Let's listen to how John says it.
Really have the, because I'm not looking to really make money on this, or really have the option.
I'm not really looking to make money, or I don't really have.
It's. I mean, we're. We need Sir Moist. It's not that fucking deep, man. He just said, like, I'm not really looking to make money, or I don't really have the option. It's not like it was a script he wrote with the intention of someone looking that deep into it. God.
It's not that he's making parodies about Patreon, people trying to make a living doing it. He doesn't feel he could be successful doing it.
He never said that, ever.
Patreon, people trying to make a living doing it. He doesn't feel
we are putting so many words into John's mouth. They're coming out his goddamn nose.
Be successful doing it. He says it right there.
No, he doesn't.
Yep.
So I put it out, and here's a little secret for you. I don't really matter that much on YouTube. It's not a video that got 1 billion views.
Now here we go. Now he's downplaying himself on you. Oh, I'm not popular on YouTube.
I'm just a little guy.
Going with his narrative. I can't make a living doing it. It's okay for me to make the parody. He's punching up, essentially, is what he's saying. I can make that parody because I'm punching up. True, but you're punching up at me, who's supposed to be your friend, right? My name is in the video. You're punching up at someone who's your friend. You're punching up at someone who. Why did I open?
You've already wronged multiple times. I don't think he's too much worried about you being a friend anymore, to be honest.
In the Patreon because I was having financial difficulties at the time. And by making
WWE champion to just come out, and you know how that goes.
In that parody, you want to say who shot the first shot? I mean, okay.
Who shot the first shot? Well, it definitely was not me.
Okay, maybe you say unfollowing someone on Twitter is shooting the first shot. I say this is the first situation. This is the first outright kind of aggressiveness. Well, you get passive aggressive. It's still aggressiveness towards me from John. Okay.
I thought you said it was a parody that you laughed and thought it was a good razzing. Okay. Anyways. Big and really stinky in the house says he can't comprehend not being obsessed with money. Yeah, that's it. He can't see anyone else not being motivated by anything else but money. That's it, Like, he doesn't think anyone does YouTube for a hobby at all. Like, it just doesn't exist. And more of that, he doesn't think anyone does anything not for money, right? So, like, if you, like, I don't know, make quilts, what, you don't sell them? Huh? Why don't you sell them? Huh? Right? It's like that no one can have hobby just for the fun of it. It's just impossible. Does not happen. Iwamoto in the house says the roast of DSP would be such a drama. Oh yeah, that's kind of a good idea. Like, he would never take part. But we could set up a roast, actually. That's kind of a funny idea if we set it up. You know what I mean? Like, he's not there, but every aspect of the roast is there except for him being there. So we can make fun of each other, make fun of other detractors, and then go to DSP, the DSP section. That'd be interesting.
Can you really say it affected you in a negative way?
But I don't know. It's kind of dangerous because some people can't, you know how it goes. Like, some people are friends, but not that friends. So if you say something the wrong thing, it's like,
my sister's face is beautiful.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think some people might not be a good idea because some people will take it seriously, not seriously, but it'll hurt people that said they won't get hurt, but then it will hurt, right? Petchy in the house says, it's the 10th anniversary of Dokkan Battle. Wonder if Phil has gone back to the old flame. Now that he can't go back to Rambo. Back to Dokkan, one of the first games I spent money on. Let's see how it's doing. I can only I don't know. It's a good idea, but I don't know. I think if we carefully choose the people, right, then maybe. But then people will be like, well, why didn't you invite this person?
Eat a lunch meat sandwich.
I don't know. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. We'll think about it. You have to be careful, right? I can only make fun of Snood's statues painting so many times, right? At some point, he's gonna crack. He's gonna cry. Pocock says, set up a roast, invite some tractor YouTubers, and make sure Triple P comes. Like, oh, that way could be kind of interesting. If we get some big, like, if we get big names, now then I think it might be okay, right? Because they don't care. But if we get, like, Sir Moist, okay, we're not going to get Sir Moist. This is all fantasy land here. Sir Moist, Gundam, Asmongold, Mudahar. Well, that's a fun roast. That's a 10K viewer roast right there. And I think they can handle it. Craig, oh yeah, Stuttering Craig, obviously.
Yes.
And despite all that,
yes, I was mass messaged by people constantly.
Yeah.
Phil, why did John insult you? Phil, are you weird? John insulted you?
It's Twitter, brother.
Here it is. They were tweeting me. They were emailing me. It was on my video comments. It was on my stream comments. It was everywhere I went. John hates you. And it was toxic shit, and it made me feel like shit. Not that John made it, but that everyone's harassing me about it. Yes, it did absolutely, positively, negatively affect me again. 2015 was one of the worst years of my life.
We already said
All this negative shit was piling up. This was just the cherry on top of the shit sundae. All this other shit going on. Do I really need someone who's supposed to be my friend piling on as well? Of course not.
But you said it didn't bother you, and you thought it was funny.
Happened.
Okay.
We came out and said it wasn't directly about him. We wished him the very best, and just said we're not going to be part of his stuff.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
that didn't happen. We said it wasn't about him. We wish him the very best and said we're not going to be a part of his stuff. That never happened.
Okay. Let me see on Twitter if I can find
Did they say it wasn't about me? Yes. Did they ever say, all right, we're outright saying to the public we're not going to be a part of Phil's stuff? No. That was part of the problem, that they never did that. They were doing that, and they'll actually admit this later on in the video. They were doing this behind the scenes. They were talking to people in person that they ran into, and people were like, hey, whatever happened to you and Phil? You going to do anything with him? And John would basically say, no, we don't associate with him anymore. But they didn't tell me.
So, okay.
Again, it's the passive aggressive.
How long do they have to ghost, right? How long?
And it's not, it's being half truthful. Yes, they did tell people we're not going to associate, but not publicly. So everyone was constantly pounding me with requests as to why aren't you doing something with John? What's going on with John? And I had no answers.
Everyone was outright pounding me.
So I don't see how that's talking shit about. We're talking shit about him. On top of that, after the Pay Me Tons video came out, he publicly said, if John does a skit making fun of Patron, it doesn't mean he's talking shit about me.
Absolutely correct. I said that.
I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Where was the shit talk?
Right.
It's like one of those things where
I didn't say you should. You should talk to me. I never said it. We just watched the video. I said if I was in that situation, I wouldn't shit talk.
What?
I didn't say you did. You can say there's an insinuation there, but that's a jump.
See, now we switched to talking personally. Now he's getting heated and emotional, so we switched. That's the first time we switched to we're talking now to Rambo, right? I wish I could talk right to Rambo, so now I will. I didn't say that. You, come on.
No, I wasn't saying that they had shit talked me. They are feeling guilty about this Pay Me Tons video.
That, again, is your own conclusion, which is ridiculous in my opinion. They're feeling guilty about this, so that's why they brought it up? I do not think so.
All year long, because people said, hey, you basically insulted Phil with this, and now they're projecting that onto me when I didn't say something that they're saying I said. That's
insanity.
I outright said that they didn't insult me. So why is this even an issue, and why is this being discussed? I have no idea.
Just say something in a video. It's like, oh, they talk shit, but you have no
didn't say they talk shit.
This?
Okay.
So people just kind of go, oh, they talk shit. They must have done it.
But I didn't say that.
Yeah, and you know, it's just one of those things that people like. I feel bad because he doesn't know how to let go of things. I guess people like, you know, and this happens with anything. You know, people jam you with stuff.
Yep.
On like Twitter, and they prod you and prod you and prod you to try to get a response out of it. And he fell right into the shenanigans.
Yeah, you know what? And we're falling into it right now because honestly,
I think
he's
falling into it right now too because he threw a shot, and then we didn't want to throw the shot, but now we have to throw the shot.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's weird timing. Why did you pick that day at that time? And you know,
So it's weird because now I don't even know what they're talking about. Are they talking about when I unfollowed them on Twitter in 2014?
Yes.
Or are they talking about the video I put out in my holiday Ask the King that I always do on Thanksgiving in
So it doesn't, that day, both those things happen on the same day.
2015? I actually have no idea which they're even talking about. 'Cause
Irrelevant.
Again, they've already jumped from 2015 to 2014 to the Pay Me Ton segment. Where's the timeline?
It doesn't matter. It is literally irrelevant.
What are they even talking about? I don't know. I actually have
so just pick your favorite theory and go with it because it doesn't matter to their argument.
no idea. Okay?
Okay. Just stick with it. Stick with it.
But
Just choose
I agree
one.
with Howard.
Okay.
I have always been terrible at damage control. I have always had an issue where if I get attacked from multiple directions, and back then it was way worse, by the way. Today, we got our shit under control, right? We do. Today, you got a ton of people in the chat being dicks to me right now. I'm not paying any attention. I don't care. It doesn't
I don't even care. I definitely don't even care.
bother me anymore, you know? But back then, if people came on me at Twitter, at me, came at me in my video comments, came at me in my stream chat, on my forums, I fell for it. Hook, line, and motherfucking sinker. Motherfucking sinker, bro. I jumped like a big fish. There's a worm. Eat that shit.
This guy's young and hip. Okay, you want to hear the bans for today? And NME Warlock has been at it. I'll read the 5 bans that have already happened today. We have Darkside Dent. That's pretty standard, but still good effort. Fake Tips, Real Desperation. Brilliant. This one's a little toxic, but I'll read it anyway. Fat Wife Slim Support. Okay. A little too toxic for my taste, but I'll let it go. Next up. Oh, this is brilliant. ARS, which is Argentinian currency. ARS randomly counts now. ARS randomly counts now. And finally, Darziak Dragon Folder WTF. Brilliant. Great job, everybody.
I fell for it all the time. I always
got one more from last night. Cat's tuna casserole. Ew. That's toxic. Cat's tuna casserole. Ooh. EWWW uppercase. DSP Tech Issues USA. Lying about sore throat real. Oh my God. We're on such fire right now. Ain't too sick to stall. Now that's a King of the Ring idea. Ain't too sick to stall. Oh darling, I need your tippies. Yes he does. Ain't too sick to stall. All right, we'll keep going.
Debate. I always got.
I can't get distracted. We only got 1 hour left. All right, well, part 3's happening.
Angry. This is what people were doing. They were troll baiting me constantly. Ultimate taking of the bait. I was such an idiot. And I would get upset about shit for no fucking reason that I never should have got upset about. I let these trolls get to me. That is why, for sure, that is why things got so bad with the internet and me, with this is how you don't plays and shit. They're like, the worse that we get, the more we get to fill and the better reaction we get.
Yep, definitely.
And Howard, 100% correct here. All right? I was the public-facing figure, not them. Did they have their own internet shit going on? Yes. But I was the one who made a living on the internet. So I was the one who saw it every single day. Every video, every stream, every comment, everywhere.
So who cares?
Where's John? What's going on with John? Why isn't John in the video? Why isn't he making the videos with you? What did you do to John? Why? Why, Phil? Why did you ruin John's friendship with you? And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
So then I would say dumb shit. I would completely say dumb shit that was out of turn, that was insulting, that was dumb, that was revealing private information, and it's all wrong. I have no defense against that at all. Zero. I did it. It's wrong. They're going to bring up instances of it.
So we're more pre-bunking.
Can't defend it. All right? At least today, if you haven't noticed, we do have things better under control when it comes to comments on the streams,
That's
and
not
things
true.
like that. It's not a constant toxic universe anymore. I would argue that the universe of Darkside Phil at one point was a very toxic place to be. We have definitely
Now things are looking up. We're going through a resurgence in 2022.
improved that
Okay.
over the
Sounds
years.
good. Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
But
Definitely.
no, I can't defend it. Howard, absolutely correct in this statement. I was completely guilty of this shit.
Okay. Like we did the show Wednesday, and we were like talking shit, or there's anything that has to do with them. It's like it's a attempted trolling.
Yep.
It's let me say something. Hopefully they'll respond. Then I could come back with something else, and I create a whole situation of drama around myself.
That's not true.
You know, and I think this is what he wanted us to do. This is why.
Any comment, Philip? Or he's going to say that's not true. Okay, well, that's not true. That's not true. Debunk.
Done this.
That's the old DSP defense,
ever,
as it's called in the business, the FGC.
And I think, and I create a whole situation of drama around myself.
That's not true.
You know?
Okay, well, that's good enough, huh? That's
I think
good.
this is what he wanted us to do.
Hey,
this
that's
is
not
why
true.
I haven't done this ever until now. Despite
Vikes has a good point. If Triple P sets up a roast, he might do it. Oh my God, Vikes, you are right. You are right. You are right. If Triple P set up the roast and explained to Philip how it'd be a good idea for him, then he might do it. Vikes is thinking smartly today. Good point, Vikes. You got the old noodle thinking for sure. J-Dog in the house says Phil was razzed on a recent Chapo Trap House podcast episode. Ooh, Chapo Trap House podcast. How recent, J-Dog, and how hard would it be for me to find it? Chapo Trap House. I'll try to find it.
Despite him, running me down on his forums, on Twitter, on his chat.
Talk about that.
And like try to do stuff on the sneak. But I catch wind of all this stuff, man. People send me all this stuff.
Yeah,
And the most part, I don't look at it, but with things like this happen, I'll go through and see what's going down.
So,
Vikes wants me to finish his tip. Okay, I will. Hashtag FatCatsGunt. That seems to maybe it's some kind of band. I don't know what that means. I don't understand that part.
he's saying there's a campaign against him. Like, I was constantly trying to, like, talk shit about him and bring him down and stuff. Again, that wasn't the intention, but again, it's troll bait. Trolls baiting me into saying dumb shit or trying to get emotion out of me, right? About the situation. Specifically, he doesn't bring up any specifics, so I can't directly react to what he's saying and say, oh, here's what I meant or whatever. So I don't know. I can confirm it happened. Happened on Twitter, happened on my forums. My forums, my God, there was like 2 or 3 assholes on my forums who would constantly pelt me with shit about this and try to get this out, and I would fall for it. Every time I typed a pair.
J-Dog, what's it called? Because on YouTube, they don't put the numbers of their episodes. They just put like, for example, it'll be Spare Us, Cutter. That's it. And they don't say the number. So you got to tell me the title, unfortunately, for the YouTube one. I apologize, but I can't find it. Super Taco Tuesday featuring Alex Nichols. That's not entirely accurate. Featuring John Boys. That's what their titles are. So I can't search by number. Real World Blues featuring Alex Nichols. Tuna Melt Moment. Okay. Tuna Melt Moment. Got it. Thank you.
Paragraph that I fell for. Oh my God, I did it again. But here's the thing. He's trying to kind of say that like I'm doing it behind the scenes. Everything I did was public. My forums are public. You can see them right now. I didn't delete the posts. My Twitter's public. My videos are public. Everything right now. I didn't delete the posts. My Twitter's public. My videos are public. Everything's public. It's not like Phil is trying to do a underhanded backstabbing campaign where he's bad-mouthing John behind the scenes and shit. I did it in public. I mean, maybe that's even worse, right?
I found it. The problem is, I was not listening to what Philip was saying while finding it. So if he said anything worth commenting on, I missed it. But I did find it. Here we go.
Well, it might have been a hate watcher.
Yeah. No,
but like, he's so bad at tuna melts. I hate him.
yeah. He's like, Mark Warner was like Darkside Phil during the pandemic.
Yeah, people would just be fucking with him all day.
Yeah, he got swatted every day. He got caught jacking off on live.
Yeah, he jacked off into a tuna melt.
That's the secret ingredient.
That is why it was controversial.
Yeah, I know. So I just Googled Mark Warner tuna melt, and the first result is a YouTube video titled Senator Mark Warner.
There we go. Big ups. They did say Dark Side Phil. Big ups, J-Dog. You're a legend. That was just a little razzing, though.
But it seems like he's trying to say, like, oh, I got wind of it. Now, John, you got wind of it because my trolls baited me and then they sent you my responses. They did it on purpose. It was a concerted campaign. They tried to get me to react badly so that you would see me react badly and be angry with me. I mean,
Whose fault is it?
And then
Philip Oh my God. He's going to say it was Rambo's fault for responding to Phillips. What he called himself were things he shouldn't have done because the trolls made him do it. Why did you make me do this, trolls? Why? Come on, why? Please, Rambo.
Twitter happened on my forum.
How did the trolls do this?
Forums, my God. There was like 2 or 3 assholes on my forums who would constantly pelt me with shit about this and try to get this out, and I would fall for it.
Yes,
Every
so
time
you fell
I typed
for
a
it.
paragraph, I fell for it. Oh my God, I did it again. But here's the thing.
Every time what?
I typed a paragraph, I fell for it. Oh.
Every time I typed a paragraph, I fell for it.
Help me with shit about this and try to get this out, and I would fall for it. Every time I typed a paragraph, I fell for it. Oh my God, I did it again. But here's the thing. He's trying to kind of say that like I'm doing it behind the scenes. Everything I did was public. My forums are public. You can see them right now. I didn't delete the posts. My Twitter's public. My videos are public. Everything's public. It's not like Phil is trying to do a underhanded backstabbing campaign where he's bad-mouthing John behind the scenes and shit. I did it in public. I mean, maybe that's even worse, right? But it seems like he's trying to say like, oh, I got wind of it. Now, John, you got wind of it because my trolls baited me and then they sent you my responses. They did it on purpose. It was a concerted campaign. They tried to get me to react badly so that you would see me react badly and be angry with me.
So?
I mean,
So, we're not going to blame it on the trolls or Rambo, right? After we just admitted it's our fault?
Badly so that you would see me react badly and be angry with me. I mean, I fell for it, and then you did too. You know,
Okay. Yep.
This was absolutely them trying to create friction between us, and I was guilty because I was the one with the public face again. I was the one who got attacked with it every day. How are you going to reach John? Hit him with a video comment, tweet him. He doesn't even check his Twitter that often. You don't have other ways. I had to be public every day. It was my job. He didn't have to.
You don't have to respond to comments. You can just delete them like you always do.
Okay, but in reality, I'm guilty of this. You know,
Yes.
again, I fess up to it. But absolutely, John bit hook, line, and sinker too. When the trolls sent him, he said, "Oh, I got wind of it." How did you get wind of it? Because the troll sent it to you, dude. I mean, how did you not realize who it was? They were getting me.
So now we're saying John should have been a better person and ignored the trolls after outright stating he couldn't do that himself. And now we're kind of laughing at John for not doing it. John, how are you so fucking dumb? I did the same thing too, but how are you so fucking dumb and not seeing what they're trying to do? Idiot.
Me to say stupid shit so that they could show it to you and you'd be mad at me. That was the point. That was what they were intending to do to begin with. You see?
So,
okay. Let's continue.
You know, it's an attempt to
Exactly.
It's an attempt to get something.
Rambo should have been the bigger man because I sure as hell couldn't be. That's it right there. Big up, Sister Anime.
Going.
Oh, and by the way, he says this is an attempt to get something going. The reason he's talking like this and the reason he made that Thanksgiving video that we watched at the very begining is because he wants to say something, then we'll say something, then he'll say something. It'll be drama going back and forth for attention on the internet. Wrong.
What?
All right?
Are we just making stuff up now?
I'm going to reveal this later in depth, but the reason that I did that in that Thanksgiving video was because I needed to prompt an action because in my life I had a lot of fucked up stuff going on.
What?
This was one of them. I was actually having a lot of problems behind the sscenes mentally.
You've already talked about these, all right? Are we going to bring up the depression now for pity or what?
Because of what a bad year it was for me.
Wow, we should get a counter going for this shit. All right, we've heard about the really fucked up shit that Rambo's going to do in the future 3 times. We've also heard about how bad 2015 was for us 3 times. Anything else we want to say, or...
We'll talk more about that because there's a specific segment of this video that addresses things you're like, I don't understand. And when I explain, you'll understand.
Okay, that's 4.
But I never, in my wildest dreams, expected they were going to do a public video like this. First of all, Howard has nothing to do with it. But
we'll see about that.
John, I never expected it. I thought this would be the straw that broke the camel's back, that he would either call me or start responding to my texts again and say what was going on. Because again, he had been ghosting me essentially for almost a year at this point when I made that Thanksgiving video 2015. Okay? So that's what I thought. I thought, all right, if there really is an issue, which he always said there was never an issue. He never said there was an issue.
Except when he ghosted you for an entire year.
Ongoing tell me, oh God. All right, everybody, what's... Okay, that's the wrong video. Just got to get out of there. There we go.
This is how you do a podcast, Craig. Paradox says, I have no self-control. That's your fault. Exactly. That's exactly what we're saying here. That was the argument right there.
I would try
Oh, God, now we're at the end of the video. Anyway,
Cool.
He would outright tell me when he did respond, there was no issue. Don't worry, there's no issue. If there is an issue, we're going to work it out. I'm going to be in your content. It's things on my side and yada, 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 that kind of shit. And then...
It's so funny, the person, whatever Dent made this video, I know you can't see because I hit it, but like they like changed the pictures. Like it's such an unnecessary thing. And I'm all about doing unnecessary things if it makes things cooler. But like in a talking head video like this, there is zero reason to change those fucking pictures. Like what are you doing? Trying to make them look cooler? You know? And there's some cool pictures of all the times we had together that I fucked up. Yeah, pretty cool. It's like, why would you do that? Philip didn't do it himself, by the way. It was definitely a Dent turn.
He just stopped responding entirely. And when he stops responding entirely, it's like, dude, come on, at least be honest or truthful or upfront and transparent with me, you know? And he wouldn't be. He would just ghost me. So I thought making that Thanksgiving video would prompt him to finally reach out. And even if it was, Phil, I've had enough, okay? I've seriously had enough with you. I don't ever want to be your friend again. At least if he had done that, there would have been closure, okay? That's what I was looking for, closure, because it was open-ended, and people were...
Oh my God. Spurned lover vibes. Massive. I just want closure, okay? I know you haven't responded to my texts in a year, but please, I just need closure. Angela! Please, I just want closure!
Closure, okay? That's what I was looking for, closure, because it was open-ended, and people were constantly hounding me about this and wouldn't leave it alone.
Massive ex-boyfriend vibes. Stalker ex-boyfriend. I just want closure. Real quick, just tell me it's over. That's all I'm looking for. I already told you by not responding to your drunk messages for a year, dumb fuck. Please, I just want closure.
And I was like, the only way I'm ever going to get closure is to force the hand. Is that fucked up? Yes.
Force the hand.
Is that wrong?
What?
Yes. It is. I shouldn't have ever done that. It's fucked up to put him in that stressful situation.
So you made shit up about his thoughts to force his hand to make this video? So this video is something you wanted to happen.
That he was in because of me? Absolutely that was wrong to do. And I shouldn't have done it. But I did it because of a lot of things going on in my life.
I'd rather force his hand and make up thoughts about what is in his mind than call him. Yep, that's it. Let's force his hand and put him in a uncomfortable situation, which Philip said was uncomfortable. Can't call him, but we can force his hand.
Will be explained later in the video. Now I gotta find where we are.
Please.
Option.
Yep.
So I put it out, and here's a little secret for you. I don't really matter that.
No, here we go.
Okay, got it. Perfect.
It's like it's a attempted trolling.
Here we are.
Yep.
It's let me say something. Hopefully they'll respond.
I didn't want a response publicly. I just wanted him to respond to me in general. It's been a year since he was talking to me.
You know?
Yeah.
I just wanted anything.
I think this is what he wanted us to do. This is why I haven't done this ever until now. Despite him, running me down on his forums, on Twitter, on his chat,
We already did this.
And try to do stuff on the sneak. But I catch wind of all this stuff, man. People send me all this stuff. It's an attempt to get something going.
Yeah, and he falls victim to it on a consistent basis.
Yes.
And he has an issue, like a really big issue with damage control.
Yes.
Like he doesn't know how to ignore things.
I agree here. 100%.
So this is why we're in the situation that we're in now, is because of that.
Yeah.
There was no need for him to address this. He could have just let it go, and that was it. But we'll talk. I don't know if you want to.
3 months after we last spoke about him, in a positive way that we spoke about him. Let's choose just 3 months randomly and just say some stuff.
But again, that was 3 months. John didn't ever think about me, hear about me. I was getting it constant. my trolls were all over me constantly about it. Man, Phil, you really fucked up that relationship with Rambo because that was a good thing you had going. He was your friend, and look what you did. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't know anything. There's no public information about this at all. But that's what I got every day, you know?
So what?
And it just festered, and it got toxic inside of me that I felt like shit over this, all right? And again, why did this come up? It was Ask the King on Thanksgiving. That's my Thanksgiving thing that I do every year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I specifically do it anymore. I mean, 7-8 years later. But, you know, I used to do it every Thanksgiving at the holiday Ask the King, and it's a question that came up. And I felt that this would actually give it closure. Because from my end...
so closure for him was, again, forcing their hand?
It was one of two things was going to happen. Either they ignore it completely, they never respond, in which case I say, that was my last word on the subject, never talking about it ever again. Or... They respond behind the scenes. I find out what's actually going on. Maybe we have a resolution. We work things out and we're friends again. Or maybe not. And if not, at least there's closure. Okay. Closure is better than nothing. In my opinion. Like, that's what was my mindset back then. Was even if the closure is a negative closure. And this is the end. And this is John saying, I hate you. Don't ever talk to me ever again. You're a scumbag.
Never said I hate you.
I'd rather have that than, oh, I just ghost you forever. And who knows what happened.
Well, we know Philip hates that more than anything, right? Being ghosted. He will write... paragraph after paragraph to even people he hates if they don't respond.
So, in reality, what happened was I got my answers, just not in the way that I was expecting, and it blew up completely in my face because now everyone publicly thought that I was a scoundrel, a scumbag, a piece of garbage because of this video. Again, I'm not going to dispute that there's things I've done wrong, all right? Let's continue.
Yeah, not only that, every single time we've been out in the field and people have asked us about him, all we do...
closure is not to get too deep, but it's just something that as humans we like, right? And when we're fucking like stories we read, movies, we like to have closure. It makes put a little bow on something, right? And we can just lock it away and don't have to worry about it anymore because things being done and things being things we don't have to think about are much easier than things you have to keep open, right? And you have to keep just some aspect, some percentage of your brain is wondering, right? But, I mean, as adults... And as you grow up in life, there's going to be a lot of things you don't get closure for, and we just got to accept that, right? But Philip, being a middle schooler mentally, still thinks the world works like this, right? Where everything is closed and there's no open end to everything. And even if it's not a happy ending, well, at least I don't think about it anymore. And that'd be a cool way to live if that was the truth. But unfortunately, that's just not how life works, right? So he obviously can't handle that, being socially inept as he is. So he would rather... make someone respond than just accept that it is over. Because, I mean, John not responding for as long as he did kind of means it is over, right? But we had to be an asshole about it because we want that closure more than anything else.
What we do is we don't associate with him anymore, but we wish him the best of luck. Remember that guy that we met at the YouTube studios?
Yeah.
It's the same question that we always give the same answer.
Yeah, man.
We're not...
They would go out in public and tell people, we don't associate with Phil anymore, we wish him the best. But they wouldn't tell me. They're telling other people, but not me. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm the one left with the public face to the internet. Thousands of people who want answers. I have none, and they won't give me the answer. But they'll tell someone at the YouTube studios, oh, we're done with Phil. We're not going to deal with him.
They didn't walk around telling that. Hey, what's up, guys? By the way, we are done with Phil. Just let you know. Hey, what's up over there, guys? How you doing? We're done with Phil, by the way. Yep. Uh-huh. Thanks. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Can I get a drink? By the way, we're done with Phil.
Him anymore. How about me? You know?
Here to bash anybody, but at the same time, we're not here to take shit from anybody either.
Yeah, there's enough is enough, and we always talk about it. You know, as I always say, hopefully we don't have to do this.
Let me. I'm gonna rewind for that moment because I think. Wait.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to dispute that there's things I've done wrong. All right. Let's continue.
Yeah, not only that, every single time we've been out in the field and people have asked us about him, all we do is we don't associate with him anymore, but we wish him the best of luck. Remember that guy that we met at the YouTube studios?
Yeah.
It's the same question that we always give the same answer.
Yeah, man.
We're not...
They would go out in public.
Yeah, we talk about this on a consistent basis. Time. We're not here to take shit from anybody either.
Yeah.
There's enough is enough, and we always
thousands of people who want answers. I have none, and they won't give me the answer, but they'll tell someone at the YouTube studios
because they were
we're done
asked
with
personally.
Phil. We're not going to deal with him anymore.
Okay.
How about
asked
me?
Personally.
You know?
We're not here to bash anybody, but at the same time, we're not here to take shit from anybody either.
There's enough is enough, and we always talk about it. You know, as I always say, hopefully we don't have to do this.
Yeah, we talk about this on a consistent
It's
basis.
disgusting. It's sad, but here we are, man. So
yeah.
And again, I'm gonna like spell this out. This isn't an attack.
See you, Philip.
This isn't like just an attack. Like this is all the shit that went down. There's things that are out there that he put out there.
Yes.
Things other people believe.
Yes.
That are not true.
Yeah.
So I have to defend.
All right, he's going to bring up the subject of money now.
All right, well, the next part's pretty rough, I'm not going to lie. But just remember, though, guys, Howard says some really fucked up shit in the future, so keep that in mind. And also, I was depressed. And also, 2015 was very bad, so just remember that, okay?
He's right, but it's because... All right, I'm not even going to get...
Amazing. He can never say he's right without a but coming right after it. It's incredible. He's right, but this is horrible to my case.
Yeah.
So I have to defend.
All right, he's going to bring up the subject of money.
He's going to bring up money, but...
He's right, but it's because... All right, I'm not even going to get ahead. I'll let him talk, and then we'll address it.
You don't want to do any more full lies, right?
Okay. So really my last feelings on the subject of, because now they're going to move on, my last feelings on the subject of the Thanksgiving 2015 Ask the King, which is how this whole started. All right?
I thought you said you weren't sure of the timeline. Now you're pretty fucking sure.
The subject of the Thanksgiving 2015 Ask the King, which is how this whole started. All right?
Whole started. How this whole started.
Completely in the wrong for saying what I said.
Yes.
And doing that. At the same time, they had been ghosting me for about a year.
Yeah,
the only contact I have with them is John making a Pay Me Tons parody that essentially has my name in it, so it is a slam against me, even though
Philip is not saying the whole truth here. They also talked about him, let's see. This video, let's see. Let me tell you exactly the timeline here. Okay, so... Because Philip's not being very truthful here. They didn't just talk about him on Pay Me Tons. They also on Rambo and Howard. Let me see. I'm gonna get the timeline exactly right here. Okay, so this video came out in 2015, around Thanksgiving time, right? So in November, which we can all agree is definitely after Thanksgiving, November 28th, excuse me, which is after Thanksgiving in my mind. They also, not that one. Here we go. In August of August 19th, which is before Thanksgiving, they also talk about Philip here.
I wanted to talk about, let's see here. So Phil's name's come up quite a bit, man. I'm going to bring it up.
So this is them talking about Philip before they made their video. So it's not like the only way they talked about Phil was in that video.
Obviously not doing stuff with him anymore. Haven't in a long time.
I'm not doing stuff with him anymore. Haven't in a long time.
Isn't really anything new. It's been a long time. You know, there's some circumstances behind that.
Yep.
But only a few people really know what's up, you know. Mm-hmm. Two of them are on this show right now that know what's up. People, like a guy with an Optimus Prime avatar with the username of Morgan Freeman Sucks 369 posting stuff, you know, you may not know what's going on. I don't remember seeing you. I don't know if you remember seeing this gentleman, Howard, when we used to do stuff.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not a specific person I'm singling out. I just made that up.
So this is them publicly stating that they are not doing things with Philip anymore. This is not a private place. This is publicly on their podcast 9 years ago before they made that Thanksgiving video.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
you don't tend to single out people.
I mean, it's an example, okay? So oftentimes with the show, I kind of struggle with what should we talk about, what shouldn't be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a fine line, you know?
Yep.
I know I've talked to you, both of you guys, quite a bit about this. And but there's things that we don't discuss, man. Like, for instance, my cock. I don't talk about much about
remember
my
this
cock.
joke?
Open. Okay.
Provides nothing to be talking about that. I could tell you things about this, which is a personal situation, but then I'd be perhaps doing the very thing that has pissed me off in the past. So you can make any judgment you may have about me. I'll post any comment you want. I'll gladly take it. I'm a Catholic. I can deal with the guilt. It's fine, you know. Chances are you may not know the whole story. Well, actually, you don't know the whole story. So there you go, man. And as far as Phil goes, I have no ill will towards him.
Hear this?
You know, I wish him the best and everything he's doing.
Yep.
I'm just ain't going to be part of his stuff, man. If that pisses you off, you can go on Twitter and make fun of my cock, which I've talked about for the first time here today.
So in August, that's August 9th of 2015, he's saying, I do not want to be a part of Phil's content anymore. Nothing negative was said there at all. He just said, you don't know what's going on. All right, so let me listen to the Philip's comment again here so you can understand how Philip is lying right here, straight to everyone's face.
The subject of, because now they're going to move on, my last feelings on the subject of the Thanksgiving 2015 Ask the King, which is how this whole started. All right?
This whole started.
I was completely in the wrong for saying what I said.
Okay.
And doing that. At the same time, they had been ghosting me for about a year. The only contact I have with them is John making a Pay Me Tons parody.
Okay. Well, just letting you know that's not true. I just played the... If you consider Pay Me Tons a contact with them, then the video I just played you is also contact with them, saying he's done with them.
That essentially has my name in it, so it is a slam against me, even though I thought it was funny. It's still a slam against me, and everyone sees it like that.
I thought you said a parody.
All right? They continue to ignore me for the rest of the year. All the viewers and fans are asking...
That's not true. They made that video that I just played.
Why? I don't know. But they're telling everyone publicly that they run into, we don't associate with Phil anymore. We don't like him.
Also in the video.
You know, but we wish him the best. I don't know that, right? Things are just getting worse and worse for me in 2015.
There we go again.
Piling on shit. The DDoSing.
Ding, ding, ding.
The swatting. My relationship falling apart. My YouTube channel getting destroyed. And this was just the other fucked up thing behind everything. You know what I'm saying? And it just kept festering to the point where I wanted a closure.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
what I did got a closure, but sadly it was a public closure.
They already gave their public closure on August 19th of 2015. They would not release their video until November 28th of 2015. So this was their second closure, actually. You just didn't hear the first one. But you did hear the Pay Me Tons.
Just wanted them to say, hey, enough is enough. We don't want to be your friend anymore. Leave us alone. Which they never did.
Yes, they did, like I just played.
And they still didn't. Because in this video, they don't say
they did
that either. Although, obviously, if you make a 90-minute negative video about someone, that's pretty much what you're saying. Okay.
That's not true.
We have to dispel some things. So I want to get into a couple things here, man.
There we go.
So, the first one I want to talk about, which is disgusting, man, is money.
Uh-oh.
Okay? You ever told, like, you shouldn't talk about money? You ever
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time.
Yep.
This is not me complaining about
I hear it every
money,
day.
because honestly, from my
I beg for money every day, so I know a lot about it.
side of things, I know some other people in our circle don't agree, but I believe I was treated fairly with money. But the problem is, info that's been presented to you is not exactly true. So it's something.
Okay.
Okay, he's gonna say some shit here, but just remember, I'm depressed, and also, Howard's not my friend.
John feels that he was treated fairly with money, but people in their circle don't agree. Who? What are you talking?
Let's see what he said here. People, I know some other people in our circle don't agree. Yeah.
About?
Well, can you let him talk, or?
This is about you and me. This is not about people in your circle. And what did you tell them? So you told people in your circle what
Wow. It's wild how we can extrapolate so much off so little.
Money you were making in our videos. Other people knew. Okay? It wasn't just me on one side. He was telling people all around him
Yeah,
what kind
who?
of money he was
Give
making.
me the names. Who are you talking about? Give me names.
And they said it wasn't enough. So there's the seed of, you're not happy. You shouldn't be happy with that. You should have more, right? Again, John said earlier, this isn't about money. I don't care what everyone else makes around me. He says here, Phil treated me fairly with money. But now he's about to have a whole segment about money.
Okay.
So
What?
why? If you feel you were treated fairly, right?
He's trying to speak up for other people here. When you know other people are wronged, it's okay to speak up for them.
Why are you doing a segment about money?
Okay.
He says, because there's some misinformation. Even if there was misinformation, who cares? You were treated fairly with money.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? It's like you see your friend getting, treated unfairly by a teacher in school. And then you talk to the teacher and say, hey, man, why you treating him like shit and not everyone else? I'm treating you fairly. Just go shut your fucking mouth. I'm treating you fairly. Okay. No, you're still treating him unfairly.
It's an issue, right?
Wow.
Misinformation. Who cares?
What?
Doing a segment about money. He says, oh, because there's some misinformation. Even if there was misinformation, who cares?
Oh my God. Even if it was a lie, it's still an answer. Massive.
Treated fairly.
Massive lolcow vibes here. Even if, just because there's some misinformation, even if there was misinformation, who cares?
Money. How is this an issue? Right? And then he says the circle of friends. I again, when I watch this video, and I've watched it many, many times over the years. This is 7.
I've watched this many, many times. I've pulled so many Hogans in this video, let me tell you.
The circle of friends. I again, when I watch this video, and I've watched it many, many times over the years.
Oh my God. Imagine for a second someone made a video about you like this, speaking about how your past was so fucked up. Are you watching this many, many times? Like, there's no way. No way. Like, pretend you did that fucked up shit. You'd still be like, all right, well, I'm going to be a better person. I'm not watching this again. I'm not watching anymore. He watched it many, many times.
This is a 7-year-old video. There is this reference to a circle of people behind the scenes who are basically, what sounds to me, they're poisoning the well.
Let me check.
They're looking at the situation as outsiders.
Poisoning the well?
And they're telling...
Yeah, shut up. Shut up, dude. Just take the fucking money you got, or no money, and eat it. Stop poisoning the well, dude.
John, hey, John, you were treated badly. This was bad. Why were, meanwhile, John and I are having a blast. We're making content. We're making money. We're having a good time together. There's no ill will there. All right? But what is this circle of friends telling you didn't make enough money? And why are you listening to them if you feel like you did? Right? This comes up later. There's other topics where they start saying, oh, people in our friend circle said this and that. What? Why is this discussed in your friend circle? This is you and me, our friendship, our business relationship. Why is this being poisoned by others? This is weird to me. To hear him say it like this, it's very telling that there's other stuff going on that you don't know about until this video comes out. Okay?
What?
Anyway, let's see what John has to say about money.
Okay, so John, you're happy? So fuck off. And don't talk about anyone else's situations, all right? You got it? It's pretty simple. Big ups Wesley H. says that, what circle of friends put that idea in your head, John? Maybe the friends that actually went to where John lived, unlike Phil, who never did? Yeah, maybe his actual friends? That's wild. And again, I hate to keep bringing up this metaphor, but you have to, right? It's like, yeah, which one of your friends is saying I'm not a good enough boyfriend for you? Who? Tell me. Are you listening to her again? She's dumb. Don't worry about what she's saying. Come on. I'm the best one for you. You know that.
Which he said you shouldn't talk about.
Wild. He says quite often, John got 50%. He got half of everything that we made together, or videos I was in with him, right? And again, Howard, why is this something that's said publicly?
Yes. Why, Philip?
Come up with any kind of reason.
There is no reason to say this unless he's lying, or B,
Correct.
he's trying to save face.
Correct.
I'm trying to save face because at this...
Correct. Say what you will about Howard. He brings the facts in this video. I mean, he just says things like a normal human being does.
Time, again, when did I start talking about that shit publicly?
Yeah.
2014, 2015. Because people started, again, maybe mostly trolls, but people saying, Phil, why is John on your content? Phil, John said he would be in your content and he's ignoring you. Why? Did you not pay him? And that was a big thing. People always wanted to make it about money when John never had an issue with money. Never once did he say to me, I'm not getting paid enough for my work. And so I never thought it was an issue.
So why'd you bring it up then?
Now, I have no idea when I started talking about it publicly, nor Do I know the context? Because I couldn't find it. I'm sure people will find it now, and that's fine. Because I'm going to tell you, I know I said it. I know that I said this. That I paid John 50%.
Yes.
I know I should I have said that? Probably not.
Because it was an outright lie.
At the same time, do you feel that if you were getting paid 50% of the money being made on a project that's a co-op, is that enough? Right? I'm trying to be fair.
But that's not what you paid him, as you're going to admit to in a second.
People were constantly attacking me, telling me that I was not paying John. Like, this was an ongoing thing with my trolls, that Phil was a scumbag who ripped off John and never paid him, or didn't pay him enough, and he was pocketing all the money and being the big guy who was rich and everything, and John was getting nothing, and I was basically using his work and profiting off of it and all that, and it couldn't have been further from the truth, as we're about to discuss.
Okay, cool.
But this became a common meme, much like all the memes about me today that are stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
The more that people say something, the more they will believe it, whether or not there's any evidence at all. There was no evidence of any of this because...
Well, don't worry. There's evidence coming right now.
John never talked about it publicly, nor did I. So there's no way they could say that, but that was their line of reasoning, is that,
That's what he legitimately just said, too, Lionel. Guys, you would agree that the idea of me paying in half was correct, right? Correct. Well, here's why I didn't do that. Okay.
Phil doesn't pay John, okay? So... one day, I'm sure I got annoyed, like Howard says, I take the troll bait. I got annoyed.
Howard understands me really well. We're really close friends. Oh, I mean, we weren't friends. I hate Howard.
Annoyed, and on a stream I say, listen, I was fair. I paid John 50%. Was it a lie? No. It was saving face. Howard is correct. I was trying to save face. I was trying to justify that you can't tell me the reason John doesn't want to be in my stuff today is money. He was always paid fairly. I shouldn't have done that.
I thought you
mistake
said,
I made.
Well, it's not going to be 50-50 for very long. I think at the beginning it was 50-50, but it wasn't forever. We're going to hear about that. Alan, he's talking about the co-op stuff. The Project 7, no one got paid except for... We'll get there.
There is no reason to even address anything about money publicly on a YouTube video.
Yeah, and this is done way before there was any kind of before there was major problems. Just something that's thrown out like, "Oh, look, I'm a great guy. I'm giving him half the money."
Howard, Philip looking away to the chat, trying to run to chat.
It's thrown out like, "Oh, look, I'm a great guy.
I'm a great guy.
Half the money."
Yeah.
It's not exactly the truth. Okay,
so
Philip, he starts doing YouTube stuff in 2008. I do.
There's some of it.
I start doing videos with him.
That's Street Fighter vlogging.
We've been hanging out for a couple years before that, playing games. So just kind of.
Philip's never seen this video before, by the way. That's why he's so excited.
I transitioned into now we're going to be playing games, but recording games. And I did this stuff from 2008 when we started YouTube. I did this for probably a couple years for nothing.
He says he did it for a couple of years for nothing. That's correct. Any videos that he appeared in before I was able to monetize those videos, he didn't get paid for. I was only able to monetize the gameplay videos in early 2011 when I got partnered with Machinima. So any videos he appears in prior to that, he didn't get paid for. Also, I didn't get paid for them either.
Yes, but you do now to this day, though, right? So I think you owe him a little bit of some, let's say, residuals, right?
My job with Machinima a few years later.
Yeah.
And I had to come to him and ask, because we're still doing videos.
He has to come to Philip to ask.
You're getting something for this.
Imagine that, man. Imagine that. Hey, so you got partnered with Machinima now, huh? How can I put this? Seems like you're getting a lot of fucking money on these. Anything might wanna... How can I put this? Oh yeah, I'm dealing with a socially inept person. Any chance I could get a percentage of that, or...
Do you feel that I should get a percentage of that for my efforts on here, right? So we make an agreement.
By the way, he says, I had to come to him and ask. He says it like he was doing these videos for an extended period of time, and I was not paying him, and then he had to ask for the money. No. Once I got partnered, it was pretty quick. I can't exactly tell you when. I can tell you it was relatively quickly after I got partnered, and he was regularly doing the co-op with me, and then we started seeing the results. Oh, the views were good. There's money coming in. And then he said, hey, can I get paid for that? I said, absolutely. You are one of...
This does not make you look good, Philip. Absolutely. Yeah, you can get paid, actually. Great idea. I was actually just going to ask you that today. It was relatively quickly, though. Trust me. So he just admitted 100% that Rambo had to ask him. But it was relatively quickly, though. Don't worry. Relatively quickly. So he did 100%, from Philip's recollections, have to ask. But it was relatively quickly, guys. So he's not an asshole. Because it was relatively quickly. Cool? Let's say that. Let's hear that one more time.
By the way, he says, I had to come to him and ask. He says it like he was doing these videos for an extended period of time, and I was not paying him, and then he had to ask for the money. No. Once I got partnered, it was pretty quick. I can't exactly tell you when. I could tell you it was relatively quickly after I got partnered, and he was regularly doing the co-op with me, and then we started seeing the results. Oh, the views were good. There's money coming in. And then he said, hey, can I get paid for that? I said, absolutely. You are 100% entitled to getting paid.
So why didn't you realize that, sir?
Part of this content. It wasn't like, oh, I did it for months and months, and I had to then ask him and beg him for money. That's not what happened. The way he says that makes it sound like that, and that's not what happened at all.
Okay, so Philip's side of this is he definitely did have to come and ask him for money, but it wasn't that long. It wasn't until they realized they were making a fuck ton of money that John Rambo then asked him, hey, can I get paid for this? And Philip definitely agreed. Oh, wholeheartedly agreed. After John Rambo had to ask him. And John Rambo's recollection of the story is perfect. It's exactly what happened then.
The fuck?
Which will be basically half of the month. Half of the month's co-op income. So what happens is he takes out taxes from that amount and cuts it in half.
Fair.
Right? I get half of that. But for instance, like if it's March and we do videos in March, I will get a percentage of what was made in March. That does not include residuals like for months coming up.
Yes,
like, for
how about
instance,
that,
if those
Philip?
videos make more money in April or June and July.
That sounds pretty good. What's
Like
going
that doesn't
on with
include
that?
that. So whatever was made in April for that month, that's what I would get. Does not include streams or whatever other money comes in. Right?
Yep.
This will
And Philip's Rambo's not getting money from this video now either.
for a little while.
Okay. So let's address this. Because this is the part one, then there's a part two to it, where the agreement changed, okay?
Yeah, that's where it goes to less than 50%, even though we're already less than 50%. Go ahead.
Here's the full story.
Oh, please.
For context. I was working with Machinima as a partnered member, and that means that I would put out videos. Depending on the views the videos got, I would make a flat rate of money per number of views on a video. Machinima would keep all the ad revenue and give me that flat rate. Most cases, they were making more money on the ad revenue than what they were paying me. That's how they made their profits.
You think?
And they made a living, basically. They were making the money on the ads.
We're trying to make them a bad person? This is irrelevant. Irrelevant. Okay, anything else? But also, the IRS had to get taxes, so the IRS is making way more money than even Machinima and me. So just keep that in mind as well.
I was getting the flat rate payments. Okay? So, John is
also, YouTube was taking a cut of that as well. So remember, they're getting paid way more. They're like billionaires, dude. Oh my God, they have so much money. And Machinima as well, they're taking their cut. Now they're getting paid more. So keep that in mind as well. They're getting paid, oh my God, trillions. Okay, way more than us. Okay, then it gets to me.
Correct. What we would do a month of content. Okay? Now, by the way, people seem to have this very weird conception or notion that YouTube is this big corporate entity that runs crazy amounts of tracking and reports and has all this data that is completely false. Okay? Especially back then, we're talking like 2011. Here's how I got paid, and here's how I figured out any data. I got paid by a PayPal payment, one lump sum a month. There you go. There's your money. Okay, what is this? Is this revenue from one channel, other channels, all channels? Oh, that's just all your revenue.
Yeah.
So I don't even know the money coming in. What's it from? Is it from DSP Gaming? I had other channels running? Or is it from the other channel? I don't know. Here it is. Lump sum. Okay. So how do I figure out what made what? Especially back then, there was no way to figure that out on YouTube. There was no analytics tab on YouTube. It didn't exist. There was no way to figure out how much money a video made. Okay? What you would have to do is manually sort videos and start counting views and shit.
Yeah.
So it was a nightmare.
Why don't you do
I was
that?
like, dude, with the amount of co-op videos we're pumping out, right? Every week we're doing a co-op. That's what, 20, 30 videos plus smart guys. Like, we're talking, we'd have to track 100 more videos a month to figure out what we're making on these specific videos. So,
what seems to be more than $100 though, for sure, right?
I started contacting Machinima behind the scenes, and I made a request of them that they thought was ridiculously outlandish.
Yes,
I said,
because it was.
Hey guys, you're the ones who have all the data. You're the partner network. You're tracking videos. You have access to all that data. Can you, on a monthly basis, start sending me reports on videos? And, you know, can I use those reports to pay? Well, here's what I told them, which is kind of stupid. I said, I need these reports to pay my employees. I got some people who are working with me, and I have an agreement.
He has to use that those language. I gotta pay my employees over here, Machinima. It's like, oh, you mean Rambo? No, my employees.
A business agreement with them, okay? And I need to be able to pay them, and if I don't know what videos they're making, I can't pay them. So Machinima, on a monthly basis, starts sending me reports that are the most stupidly ludicrous reports I've ever seen. Is it a Excel file that I can sort and search and do stuff with, right? Is it anything that I can do anything with actively? No, it's a fucking PDF file. Uneditable,
Derek?
unsortable. It's just like as if someone right now handed you a piece of paper with printed text on it. That's what they're sending me, okay? So here's what we would do. We would wait for a month to pass, okay? And the next month, we would sit down when they send me the monthly report, and we would say, what were the co-ops we did last month? And we would figure it out. Okay, here's what we did. And I would, not John, I would go there line by line,
Philip,
and count up the amount of money that those videos made, because that's exactly what the report was.
Remember, John's helping you make this money, so I hope you're not acting like it's a burden to give your friend money while you're making much more than him, right? David Ortiz in the house, as if it's behind the scenes, that basically means it never happened. Yeah, I mean, I hope we had that, the Machinima debunk, but maybe we brought that up. I would love to see that email, Philip.
What I was paid for that video by Machinima that month. Okay. So I would go
Must have been a real fun conversation with John sitting there, too, huh?
All of that. And sort it myself, add it up, subtract taxes, which we knew what the taxes were. I knew what I was paying my tax guy and everything, you know, for the taxes.
Oh, God.
Here's the profits. And I would cut it right down the middle, 50%. And I would give that to John on a monthly basis. Okay? Now, he's absolutely correct. There was no residuals paid.
Yes, none.
And there was a reason for that. It was actually a discussion that we had. It wasn't like, oh, we never talked about it or whatever. We did have a residuals discussion. He said, is there any way to figure out residuals? I said, well, John, the only way we can figure out residuals is literally if every month, not only am I going to sit down and look at the new videos we make, but now I have to request reports on previous months from Machinima, and I have to sit down here and crunch those numbers too. And we did this actually once and found out that the residuals, unless it was a giant playthrough, the residuals were essentially nothing. All right? A few dollars. So,
yeah, Len the Derange is correct. Basically, we just made everything so fucking complicated that Rambo just gave up. Because Rambo's that kind of person, non-confrontational, right? You know? Residuals are so small, it doesn't even matter then, dude. Okay, yeah. Well, if you add up the thousands of videos you did with John Rambo, those dollars would add up, right?
Okay. Now, you might say, well, it's a few dollars is a few dollars, right? I mean, hell, if he's coming over your house every week and doing co-op, what's fair is fair. Pay him what you owe.
And big guy, you're right, too. John was double taxed. So Phil took out taxes, John gets his money, and then John has to pay taxes on that.
We had this conversation. And the conversation was, okay, well, we're going to do this co-op content, but also there's going to be things that come up, right? Sometimes we're going to do other things. We're going to go on trips. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And not to say that it was a contract we made. We didn't. This contract was never, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know this part. So remember what he tries to say, like, yeah, I took John to WrestleMania and stuff, even though the only reason he did because he needed a ride. He's saying that was the residual payments, was the WrestleMania.
No contract was ever made between us. There was no written contract. He didn't sign, I didn't sign. This was just our agreement that we did. We just did it. We were friends. We didn't think that anything could go wrong. And my God, if any, ladies and gentlemen, please listen to me. No, really. Please listen to me right now.
I don't care about this.
Because this is not the first or last time that
I do not care.
I know examples of this. For example, ScrewAttack.com.
I do not care. Get back to the
which doesn't
story.
Exist anymore. It was a very prominent website on the internet
Okay, I
the
don't
same
care.
thing happened with them that happened with me and Rambo, where they had kind of agreements and they weren't necessarily contract. And then after years of working on this content together, they had a massive disagreement of falling out. They split, and now they hate each other, essentially.
I don't know what he's even hitting now, but he's definitely hit something.
It's fucked up. They were like the closest guys, you know?
Okay,
and
whatever.
The public saw that unfold, saw them have their relationship be broken, fractured, and split over the business. You know, I don't necessarily think that's exactly what happened here. I think that's one of the factors. Obviously, John would not be bringing this up if it wasn't a factor, right? He'd be ignoring it. It's a factor to him, or he's not going to address it.
Yes.
But we didn't ever have a contract, so he
what?
can say all of this, and I can say all of this, but there's no evidence of any of it, right?
So
it's all hearsay.
what?
All I can
What
tell
does
you is
that
I'm
mean?
corroborating what he's saying. Yes, it's true. There were no residuals. Why was there no residuals?
So
Because
what? Whoa. So I'm telling you my side. He said your side, but there's no evidence of this anyway. So it's all hearsay. Just letting you know. So we are throwing into the pot so many things it could be. So you don't know what to believe. Could be John's side. Could be Phil's side. Could be nobody's side. Remember, it's all hearsay, guys. So you should just ignore this, actually. Just ignore this whole part.
there was no way to figure them out. There was no, oh, can I have someone take data from YouTube and crunch a spreadsheet and figure out this and this?
Go crunch it.
What we had was kind of an unspoken agreement.
Go crunch them.
Okay. And the unspoken agreement was that...
The unspoken agreement. That's an anime. The unspoken agreement. Actually, it was spoken, right?
Extra stuff. Here's the thing on YouTube, how it works.
the unspoken agreement. I mean, it seems to be extremely spoken, actually.
When you first upload a video to YouTube, especially back then, maybe today it's a little different. Back then, you would upload a new video to YouTube. That video would get a ton of hot new ads on it. You make tons of money.
Some Gator says, wouldn't there be pay slips from direct deposit? Yeah, so, but what he's saying here, though, is like, Machinima would just put a whole chunk of money into his PayPal. Everything combined, right? And Philip had to go ask for the extra information. They wouldn't like subsidize it into, you know, here's your residuals, here's this much payment, which I kind of agree. I kind of believe, actually, this part I do believe. I'm still saying, want to make that clear. Philip still could have figured it out, right? 100%. But I do believe that Machinima, a new company at this time, I don't know how many years they were out, but they weren't like a huge thing yet. So it's very believable that they would just do that, right? And here's it, go ahead, right? Here's all the views for the month. Here's your money, go, right? And probably Phil, and maybe it's because Philip probably preferred PayPal. Who knows, right? He did always like to get paid by PayPal. Maybe if he got paid a different way, they would subsidize it differently. I have no clue about this. It's just talking. But anyways.
On the ads. As soon as that went away, the ads would stop running and you make almost nothing on the video. So if a video is not monetized, you make no money on it. So we would do a new video to YouTube. That video would get a ton of hot new ads on it. You make tons of money on the ads.
Hot new ads.
As soon as that went away, the ads would stop running and you make almost nothing on the video. So if a video is not monetized, you make no money on it. So we would do a playthrough, a hot new co-op playthrough. The first few weeks, it would make tons of money, right? After that, the next month, 2 months, almost nothing. Because the ads aren't running on it anymore. Those ads are now running on all your hottest new uploads, okay? Always. Why do you think I pump out so much content? Right now, if I were to not make any new content this month, I would make almost nothing on ads on YouTube. That's how it's always worked, okay? Don't care what anyone else wants to tell you. In my experience, that's always been the case. So, we have a situation here where I would have loved to pay him residuals, but we didn't know how to figure it out without an insane amount of number crunching and work.
So
for
we
what
just gave
essentially
up.
was going to amount to very little. All right? So, the unspoken rule, I mean, it wasn't...
The unspoken rule.
That we put it down on writing, but we talked about it is, all right, well, there's going to be situations where we're going to go on trips, right? I'm going to arrange for us to go to a convention. I'm going to arrange for us to go on a trip that I'm going to vlog or whatever. And the arrangement was that even though he wasn't getting paid any residuals for the content, I would try to pay for as much of that as possible, whether it was a hotel room,
very cool,
whether it was gas for his car because he was driving, but I would pay for the gas, whether it was plane tickets in some cases. That was kind of the rule that we had. I was the one making the money here, right? I would pay him 50% of the co-op income, and anything else that came of it would be in another form, an intangible form, but
intangible form, a kind word. Maybe a bottle of water when he came over to my house.
Trips and stuff. Like, that's what the agreement was.
Okay.
Okay? He never complained. He never had a problem with it whatsoever. And this started essentially in early 2011 when I was partnered with Machinima. I can't tell you the exact date, but I believe it was about mid to late 2013 when this changed. And he's going to reveal how it changed, all right, right now. So let's continue.
All right, sadly, I got to stop there because this is a pretty hype moment. As you can see, we're going to have many parts to this. We already had 3 hours today, some fucking how. But we got to stop here, unfortunately, everybody. Big ups to everybody for chilling today. Again, no pre-stream today, but will be a pre-stream tomorrow. And don't forget, though, we got you the tractor beam fix coming up later tonight, my friends, 8:30 p.m., all right? So, yeah, this is a good cliffhanger. This is definitely a good cliffhanger. I'm having a lot of fun. We'll definitely do this next week. It is fun. I didn't know it'd be this. I talked about skipping around, but we can't really skip around. It's too good. There's too much retcons to be had. You know what I'm saying? But you're all legends, all right? See you later tonight. See ya then. Bye.